Hello, is there anybody out there? There must be a song. Say
Hello.
hello if you're here. I know this is a surprise, and I did post it a couple days ago, and it's not my normal time, but I think these Fridays I like at 11. What do you think, Kylie?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So I wanted to say hi and welcome to the Madhouse and the art room. So what I'm going to do is switch my camera over. I just wanted to say hello to everyone. And I've got my X Factor or X Files shirt on. I can't do left and right because the truth is out there. And aren't we ready for an invasion right now? So I keep going in the backyard going, Team Alien, like, if you're out there, please come now. So anyway, I'm going to switch my camera over and we'll get to it. And it looks like it's just us for right now, and that's fine.
It looks like it. Could just be
That is
another
fine.
play date for a little while, but that's fine.
Yeah. So we actually, I have my tea today. So I've been making my coffee a little less strong because I'm trying to stretch it, because I'm afraid we won't be able to get coffee soon. That's what I'm thinking. And I also am not drinking as much because I'm already jittery and nervous about everything that's going on. And I have a little secret about that too. So first of all, I would like to say hello to everyone. I'm so glad you're watching on replay. And if you're out there, poke your head into the galley and let us know that you're here. And I probably will expect people to show up at 12 because that's our normal time usually. But that's okay. We'll keep playing. If you think about it, or if you like what you see, how's that? Please hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, do all the, push all the buttons, do the stuff. And I still don't have my thing down there. Yeah. So anyway, more tea. We're going to do an oracle card reading before we start. And Kylie was noticing this piece of fabric that I have. It's like on a canvas, and I just kind of tacked it down and stuck it on this clipboard because I love this image so much. And it embodies everything that we need right now. All this female companionship and, keeping each other safe and positive and happy, So, yeah. I think it's a good representation. What you think, Kylie?
I think it's fabulous. I just loved it. I don't know why I noticed it tonight, but I hadn't on other occasions. But it's beautiful and it's wonderful just on that clipboard.
It does work. I was
Yep.
decorating clipboards for a while because I see
Yep.
them at the thrift store all the time, and it's really fun to decorate them. I have some. I don't know where they're at right now. Oh, it's over on my file cabinet. Some of the smaller ones I have decoupaged on, like some of the old, the old Byzantine paintings that have unicorns and queens
Yep.
and stuff in them.
Yep.
I have one like that. That I love. And I think if I were to make them for people that have to use them at work, I would decorate the back too, because the back is what people see when they're holding it. The back.
Hi, Julie.
Decorated bit. Hey, Julie. We're just admiring my canvas that I've had up for a while here.
It also reminds me of, if you've watched Outlander at the very beginning.
Oh yeah.
Where they're dancing, around the stones.
Yeah.
So it
very
reminds me
much
of
like
that as
that.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't sing it, but I could.
So I've left my other ring downstairs, a little fuzzy. And this one is a mask, but the mask is a bird. It's like it's a swallow or something on there. And it's so beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
And it's been in a box. I haven't worn it yet. I mean, it was something I got a couple years ago.
Hi, Eddie.
Hey, oh my gosh, Eddie, hello. We're having some of this. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to put that away. And I wanted to share a couple things before we get started, because we're going to do something pretty fun today, and we're going to make some covers that can be added to, if you hang out with us today, you'll see how I'm going to go about doing this. Covers that can be added to books, like ahead of time. So these can also, the reason I would do it this way, because it's hard when you decorate your book and you're still working in it, right? Because it gets chunky, and then these are in the way if you want to put something 3D up here, which I usually do. So putting it on something like this first is really helpful. And I cut some out ahead of time. The other thing we can do with these is after they're done, you can put like eyes in them, or you can put a clip on it, and you can actually hang them up on a wall. So it's a lot of fun, I think. But that is the goal today. And I have another little sort of super messy mixed media fun thing. We're going to do some finger painting for some of our elements. And
I'm guessing, Sharon, that if somebody didn't have, say, chipboard, then they could use
a cracker box,
a cereal box, a food box, anything like that. Yeah.
My mom brought me those, and they probably were packaging from something. Something like from Home Depot, or, it wasn't like a food packaging thing, but definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look at that. We're having a little party of 4. I love this. Yeah. The back of a pad of paper. Those are perfect.
It's the back of a paper pad. Yeah.
Yes. Perfect. So I'm sharing some things. I don't think I had this finished last time. I had started it during the live stream, and now it is finished, and she's got little dangles on each side. She's got her little rusty wings. I've got the mirrors on there that I put on last, little rusty bit. And then of course she's got her jewels, and her jewels consist of that gorgeous patina. I didn't do that. They're coins, a feather, another little pokey thing, a key, and a little bell. So I always add a bell to these, and I don't know what they're for, but I think I'm ready for a booth at the bazaar again. So I'm ready. I'm like stocked up, because I've been putting these in a bucket. I've got a whole bunch. And then this one, did you guys see this finished last time? Did I get it finished? I think I was still kind of hanging on, doing a few things. Let me hold that. I don't think I had these bits on and the chain on. Let me turn this light down a little bit, because it is a little glary. There we go. So that's that girl. Can't you see her with a white button-up shirt with a collar? She's gorgeous. I love her.
I actually think I need to have her, Sharon.
Do you? Yeah. I would love to send her to you.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's talk, because
let's talk about it.
I mean, I think you finished her off in a play date we had, and I just thought,
yes,
I felt a connection. So yeah,
she is very special. Yeah. And then this, I came up to my desk to kind of do some organizing, and I wasn't really sure. I just knew I needed to balance my nervous system. So I came upstairs, and I just started doing, you guys remember I had those hinges on that favorite thing, and it was embossed fabric is what it was. So what I had done is taken the gold and put it on. I just put gesso on my piece of canvas. This is just, I have a bolt of this sort of waxed green that I got. It's like upholstery fabric. This is what this is right here. Sorry, I'm a little stuttery. I hope that wears off. It needs to wear off. We're waiting for the mushrooms to kick in. That's right.
So Julie says, but let me just say before I say what Julie says, I think my internet is running a little bit behind. So if people are saying something and then I'm repeating it, it's because, I'm only just... Yeah,
that's okay.
Behind. So Julie says she's looking through her, I'm not sure what the word is, if it's a misspelling. I think she says Chindi.
I know what she's talking about.
I don't know what that is.
That's for the rugs. The rugs
right,
that,
fabric
that are braided. Yeah, and I had suggested that people take them apart But I couldn't find
Right.
one that I could
Right.
do that with. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so she's looking for that for strips long enough to make 1 inch wide and put somewhere convenient and easy to get to. So
I
yeah,
have something to share with you along those lines. But let's do our oracle card reading and then we can get to the art, okay? Does that sound good?
yep.
Because all this chatter, let's do it. Let's just do it. All right. So we need some blessings right now. I am finding that, and I'm not going to I'm not going to say the name, I'm not going to do that. What I want to say is we're having everything thrown at us pretty hard right now. And really hard, as a matter of fact. It's tearing up families. It's really hard right now. So what I'd like to say is hold on. It's going to get better. Everything has to break before it gets better. And there's a method to this madness that is allowing all of this breakage. I'm not saying he's a good thing. I'm not saying that at all. But we just have to, hold on, worry about our little bubble, what's around us immediately, and find joy in every moment that we can. And that's why we're doing this extra day. So um anyhow you can get it. We talked about this last time, kind of getting a list of things, a list of little things you can do. Maybe something to sit next to your recliner when you watch TV, or something to, I'm finding myself triggered much earlier now. I can't even watch him speak. I can watch like the Midas Touch. I can get like tiny little clips off of TikTok. That's it. That's all I'm getting right now. Just getting the clips. So it's I can't watch the news. I can't do it anymore. It's
Yeah,
pretty.
so Eddie's lighting the sage stick.
Yeah, light your sage, do your thing. Okay, so none of them want to jump out. So we're going to go like that, and we're going to go like that. I keep getting, clearing. That is a scary card, isn't it, for us hoarders? Clearing is a terrifying card for a hoarder. So
But
we've got
maybe it's just
one.
clearing negativity.
That is true. That is true. So my message there was, if you are feeling triggered, walk away. You don't need to know what's happening. Like, you don't need all of the details, because the breakage is real. They are trying to break our spirit, and don't let them. Ignore it if you have to. So yeah. So this is for our best and highest good. I forgot to say. I don't think it's good to talk about negative things while I'm getting this ready, huh? That's the one.
Ooh.
Okay.
I always like it when one jumps out.
Yeah, me too.
Like it's just meant to be.
Okay, so let's read this one first because it jumped out.
Yeah, Eddie says
Oh,
clearing the pathway forward.
progress. Look at her.
Ooh.
Oof. Yeah. Each day, as I recognize the divine within me, I progress further along the path of my spirit. So true. So true, you guys. Today, I respect my needs, observe what happens within, and do my best to maintain a positive attitude. I have faith in my inner strength and capabilities. I grow and improve every day. Today, God's opinion of me, or source, is the only opinion that matters. And really, that's you. You. We have to. Oh, hey, Yuda. Hello. I'm glad
Hi,
to see
Buddha.
you. We're we're clearing the deck here so we can have a good girly, sort of, with Eddie, of course, meet up here. All right. Oh, these are
Hi,
things I
Anne.
Hey, oh, Anne, hello. Welcome. Okay, so this is what I was just talking about, right? Right now, stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come that can't be handled at each moment. You guys, take every word of this to heart, and I will share photos on my community page as well, because this is what we need right now to stay sane, basically. And it's important. And clearing. A true offering arises. It becomes easy to let go. You start to trust that more will always arrive. You shift from mine to source, source, source. Such freedom. And it said God, but yeah, such freedom. Okay. See, that's a scary card, isn't it? A little bit scary. Love. Oh, I just pulled one out the other day, and this is the one. I wanted one card before I played, and this is the one that came out. Divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation, only love itself. And that's true. There are two things in this universe. There is love and there is fear. And let's have that love. Oh, you're Canadian. Oh, Ann makes, we love you guys, and we don't want what's happening. So just, yeah, I've been waiting to be adopted by Canada. We live pretty close to the border. We're a couple hours away. We're in Washington State. So I'll take a picture of these though when we are done today, and I will post them on my community page. So back to speed talking again, I guess. All right, I'm going to put this away. Now, today, I'm going to show you a couple things, and we're going to get started, and we're going to do some messy work. You don't have to do this part, of course, but I actually made some little strip edges for this, and I did this one the other day, and this is that fabric, and I put down my black gesso on it, and then I sprinkled it with the gold, which is this really chunky stuff, embossing powder, and then I have my little party mix here where I dump all the mixtures in, which it runs low, and then I start adding those colors back in, just not as a party mix, but I just sprinkle it on, and then whatever was there, and I love how it cracks. Can you see the crack? Let's see. Can you see the cracks and how shiny and beautiful? But this, if you do this on fabric, it doesn't have to be canvas. You can use and make hinges for books. You can use for anything really that you would use fabric on, but really good for hinges and like straps and things like that, because it makes it stronger. Where the green is where I actually went in. I saw areas that didn't have gold after I heated that up, and I went in with just a little bit of school glue. Don't need anything special, and a paintbrush. And this is just school glue and water in a red sweet pepper strip jar, in a pimento jar. Yeah. And then I did that again with, after I got some glue on there. You can use any kind of glue you want. I love it when it bubbles and looks like molten metal, and that is my jam. Like I did this the other day, and I just got it started. But I love that. I love getting around the edges and letting it look like it's kind of becoming part of the background, I also think I finished my bird. I did the same thing. He needs little hangers. But he's been sitting on my desk for a while. I was just fiddling around, really. So I just wanted to share that. This could end up on a cover. I just thought this was really fun. And she's a sticker. I could go over her with some glossy accents or some dark clear to really, like I put her on some chipboard, and then I used these to connect her. This is the other thing we did the other day, and Kylie was with me. We had a little rebalance. We had a little play date. I needed it so bad.
As did I.
Yeah, it was, we just needed it, didn't we? You needed to hear that, Anne? Yeah, thank you. Will you adopt me and Eddie, please? Everybody else, Julie and Kylie are not in the US, but anyway, she was a lot of fun. Kylie actually helped me with this, and it gave me an idea that maybe we should do that more often where, you know, she's helping me make some of the decisions. And then it's kind of a thing that we both made. It's our artwork. And I love that idea. Sure. Come on over, she says. That's great. So anyway, that's that. And this is just that chipboard. I've kind of pulled some papers aside. It's a kid's book that I got. And every time I have some extra paint left over, I would go in and kind of scrape it on in here, or papers that I really liked. And I need to, you know, work on some pages. But this is a really fun thing to sit on my desk and just inspire.
Can I tell a little funny, Sharon? So
Yes, please.
We were
Please.
doing this, and I was kind of saying to Sharon, you know, as she says, we were kind of collaborating, me just by saying, I think, you know, how about this? How about that? And at one point I said, I think you need to put it there. And I was actually putting my finger on the screen as if she could see it. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my goodness. And I
Touching
did
the
that
screen.
several times. Touching the screen. Put it there.
That's so
Left
funny
bit, right
too.
bit, up a bit.
Yeah, that's it. I have a hard time with the mirroring. Like I was saying, like I had my face on here when we opened. If you guys didn't see that, I opened with my face again because I happen to have a little makeup on today. But it's right, left, backwards, and I end up like, it's so confusing. I can't do it. It's almost as bad as touching the screen though. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I did that was pretty fun. I've got my spray box here, and I'm going to pull this out. Now, I was going through some magazines, and I actually had, and I've got good papers in my spray box too, had so much fun like tearing the extra pieces like that I didn't want, like the image that I wanted I would take out, and the rest of it I was tearing into strips. And then I also had some others here on my desk, and what I did was I went through and tore them in different widths and then glued just the center, kind of like if you were gonna sew it. You know, and I'd lay down another piece that was skinnier, and I glue the center and lay down another piece. And it was a lot of fun, actually. It was very tactile, and, you know, sometimes it's just fun to sit and glue. But then I want to like tear some of these, and you can crumple them up ahead of time. But these are some elements that I'm going to add to my cover because I want it to be extra grungy. But the best part, and I think the ones that I like the best, are the ones that I finger painted with a bit of gesso before I sprayed. Can you guys see that? This one hasn't been feathered. We're going to call that feathered, right? It hasn't been fluffed yet. But where the gesso is, the spray acts differently. I really like that one with all of its crazy edges. Some of these were out of a 1945 Vogue magazine, some of these little scrap bits. And then this comes on my bird seed at the top, and I've brought it up before and I've used it on projects, and I love this. It's still wet too. It's kind of canvasy. So we're going to set that there and let it dry. I always have papers stacked up in my spray box too. So that means that they'll catch anything that's extra. And this one is really good. Here's a gessoed piece right here. I'm thinking I'm going to put it along the edges of my image. You're a cyclone? Oh, you're in a cyclone ravaged Australia. Oh, yeah. Are you guys having cyclones? I am a cyclone. Personally, I'm a cyclone.
I think from what I was reading, it's quite a bizarre cyclone because it's a bit unpredictable in terms of the way it's moving. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I was reading earlier. And
yeah, it's very flat.
It could be pretty devastating from what they were saying.
Oh my gosh. It's one cyclone doing this?
I think so. But I think it's just because it's unpredictable.
Wow. Wow, that's really scary. It is very flat there, and there's nothing to stop a cyclone. I could see that, really. Everybody, you know, send some positive energy to Julie that her house, it doesn't get hit by that.
She's not in the main area of it, but she has
that's
family. Good. She has family in the area where it will. or is
Yeah.
hitting.
Yeah. Well, that's scary. That's a little scary. So this paper has been at the bottom of my box for so long. I mean, like a year, and it's been sprayed and sprayed and sprayed. And because I put things on it and spray them. And this is so water soluble, everything on here. So if I took a wet paintbrush, I could probably get a stencil. Let me find one that I want to use here. Could probably get, come on, really? Let's do this one. It's got big enough open spaces, and I could probably use a baby wipe. And this is just brown paper. I mean, it's stuff that maybe something was wrapped in shipping. Baby wipe here. And I'm just going to pull some of that away and see if it comes off, because it is all spray, which is water soluble. It could just darken it. But let's find out if it works. If it doesn't, it would be fun to just go over with some gesso, because the gesso will pull some of the color out too, and it will not be white anymore. No, it's not really pulling much off there. Would be cool if it did. Oh, I mean, there's a little bit. I think the spray is just too thick on there. It's pretty thick. It's gone. Look at that side. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's so grungy good. But that's a lot of product. That's what that is. There's so much product. I could get it wet, and I have. That's why it's kind of blended. I have gotten it wet and just dipped things in it before. So it's moving very slowly and changing direction. So it's just one, correct, Julie? That's crazy. So I'm going to put this back in my spray box, I guess, because I don't need it today. But I always have a stack of papers in there, and they catch the edge, and I like that. I'm going to leave that stencil out. We might use it. So let's put some gesso on a couple of these that I have here that haven't been treated, and I'm going to crumple them up. I do have some words here that I saved, but most of these I did, and they can be crumpled and fluffed, and as you add them into, say, the edge of, where's one of those pieces here? Let's say it was on the edge of something, and then I had a photo or whatever, and then I get these sort of really messed up. I love it. What do you think, Kylie?
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous.
It's very especially in person. I feel like it's so much better in person than it is on screen. Even just this one. It hasn't
And
been fluffed yet.
it's not just about the colors, etc. It's very much, it's tactile. You can touch it,
Yes.
you can feel it. Yeah.
It's
it makes it almost
texture.
It's 3-dimensional, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you have your sewing machine set up, you could do the same thing with the strips and just run them through your sewing machine like this. But what you're going to want to do is stack up different sizes. And I kind of had a medium, like a small, medium, large out on my desk here. And like I said, they were just like leftover pieces. And you guys know I did the rip strips. I love making rip strips. They're so much fun. And these are actually kind of a version of the rip strip, because it's what gets ripped off the edge. And
I nearly said that to you earlier.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is fun. And I do have some extra little pieces here I'm going to kind of put behind me. Okay, so I want to, before I go at it with the gesso this time, I think I'm going to give it some, don't want to rip it in half though, really. And you could crumple it up before you glue them together or sew them. I think that's fun. It's just, sometimes we have to put our fingers in it, don't we? Sometimes you have to. You got no choice. You could roll some of it. When you look at those layered pieces that are so grungy and they just make your heart skip a beat, and there's so many layers, this is how you achieve some of those layers. And, this is not something you're afraid to cover. So you're not married to it. It's not like super special, but it's a layer. And as you add more and more and more, you get lots of interest that way. So this one I'm going to scrunch. And I have an idea for this one. See the black on there? That's this. I haven't used it yet. And this is supposed to be a stone, but it's not. And it's an ink stick. It's calligraphy.
Oh my, I just love ink sticks. Oh.
And, you know, maybe draw on your thing. Maybe make some marks. I can get a paintbrush here. Because it's a little wet in there. I had it earlier. You know, get on some of your edges there and make them stand out. You can go after this with, you know, just an ink pad too, like your vintage photo, if you use that type of ink, or any of the, oh my gosh, yes, we should do that. Some of the ones that you can spray with water and they turn color. Let's do that. Yeah. So we're just going to work on these 3 here because that's what I have left. And that's water soluble, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so, and then we'll decorate this one, I think, the smallest one, because I can put it on, I think that. I might trim it down just a little because I want more of the book to show. I also have these larger ones, and I have larger pieces of cardboard here. These ones haven't been decorated yet, or finished yet. So I'm going through this and I'm like, wow, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about that. We did this last year, guys. Do you remember that? Anyway, yeah, lots of fun, lots of fun. You can use any medium you want on these. Water soluble, even better. Because, you know, as you add water to all those little edges, it frays them a little more, and, you know. So let's do this one because these are still wet. And then we'll get to some layering. I think it'll be fun. So I'm going to grab some, let's see. Do I want rusty hinge? I've got orange over there already. But what I've got is a drawer full of ink pads here, and mostly oxide is what I prefer because I haven't really used that one. So let's do that one. And let's use, I want the, just talking to myself here, you know, the ground espresso, because that one gets some extra color also. And then maybe we do need a little orange to offset that blue. Those colors right there. What do you think? So, you know, maybe just take your brush, or you can do it this way and just get those edges. Just make a mess, because I'm going to spray it with water as well. Don't really want black on my thing.
So Eddie's asking if you've stuck the pieces of paper together with glue.
I did. I did one strip of this glue, as I've started with a wider one. And you could do this with your gel prints. You could do it with any scrap you have, any kind of paper. You can do it with, you can layer fabric in between even. But what I did was I started with a wider one, got skinnier, skinnier, skinnier. And each time I would add one little strip of glue. And I didn't really worry about whether it was in the middle or whether it was squiggly, or because that actually just adds more interest and places for it to ruffle up. I don't know. Do you guys like this idea for grungy?
I love it.
I'm kind of tickled with this. I had gesso on my fingers this morning, and I was like, this is so much fun. I'm still going to do some gesso. Don't worry. I don't
know why, when you said you're about to use, and this isn't about you, it was just life in general. When you said that the ink was rusty hinged, I thought it's rusty and unhinged just now.
I'm unhinged today.
Well, I'm feeling that way. So, like I say,
yeah.
that's not a reflection on you. It's more about how I'm kind of feeling about.
Oh no,
so
I
quite like that name.
So rusty hinged, is that what you're saying?
Rusty unhinged.
I love it. Maybe that should be a theme for something.
Yeah.
You think? So
Yeah.
I'm just adding a little bit of this here and there, and I may add spray in the end. I'm just adding places for some color. And I kind of want to hit some edges, some texture, and then I'm still going to use gesso because it actually kind of glues it together and creates like, because gesso is a little chalky, kind of a plastery feel. So let's get some real edges here and maybe crumple, crumple, crumple.
That's a good point, I think, about gesso, because I'm not saying the folks here, but a lot of people, I think, just think of gesso as being something for an underlayer, but I think
Oh
it's
no.
great for all manner of things, to
Yeah,
get texture in on, or it doesn't matter what layer, just to get texture in, and
it
I think
does.
it's a wonderful
You can
product. I
make
love it.
it. You can make it too. I mean, it doesn't have to
Yeah,
be,
yeah.
yeah, you can, I'm just kind of going over this, just making it grungy. You could use any of your water soluble mediums to do this, because when you put the gesso on after, it's going to pull that color up and it's going to change the color of the gesso a little bit. So I think it'll be really interesting. Now, these ones, I just put the gesso on with my fingers, and the paper is much thinner here. And then I sprayed them with a few different colors in the box. So you can see where the gesso is and where it's not, but it just creates another grungy texture. And this one's even interesting. So anyway, so I want this now before, let's see how this does. My gesso is pretty thick right now. It's time to order some more, I think. And I'm just going to hit it here and there. Just, and hope that it does something to the blue. If you're afraid of mixing, get a little palette knife out, and if you don't want it on your fingers, palette knife once again. Just pulling those little edges, get some gesso underneath. It's very satisfying.
Yeah, and Anne says it's fun to paint gesso and over dry it with the heat tool,
Yeah,
so it
yeah.
becomes
I'm going to spray these too.
tighter bubbles. Yeah, I first learned that by mistake when when I sit with a heat tool trying to dry, say, gesso on a page, and I put on quite thick. This is going back, I don't know how many years. And, I get distracted, my mind drifts away onto other things. And then I looked at the gesso and it had all bubbled up. And I thought, oh, right. Ooh, this is interesting. So it's, that kind of happy
Yeah.
accident thing. But yeah, it can be fantastic like that.
Well, as a non-card maker, I was never a card maker. I bought a craft lot. It was years ago when I first saw a junk journal. Now, I was an artist before. I was a painter, and I did all kinds of things, furniture and decorating and costumes and, that sort of stuff. But I had never, when I saw the junk journal, I was like, you mean I can mix all that stuff together and put it in a book? Like all the
Ooh.
things that I love. But I didn't have things like scrapbook paper or, I didn't have that stuff. So I bought a couple craft lots, and this was in it. And I was like, I don't even know how to use this stuff. It's like chunky gold. It doesn't really work with a stamp. I didn't have stamps at that point either. Maybe some foam stamps, for like furniture. Anyway, I started playing with it. I mean, I probably had it for 6 months before I did that, because I was like, now what do I do with this? I just wanted to mess with it and use it in sort of a mixed media way. And I put a puddle out with some Elmer's glue. I didn't know. It wanted a certain kind of glue. I didn't think it mattered. And so I tried all kinds of different glue and saw some of them bubbling and some of them making like that molten look that I like so much. It was great. So now one last step here with these. I'm going to put them on something before I do it, because I have my walnut ink here, and it's in a spray bottle. So it's the walnut ink crystals and water. That's it. And I like to use this to create when I'm doing rust, when I'm doing, you know, when I want to grunge something up and I don't like it white. And see how it is affected. See how what happens with the gesso when I put that on there, and it'll lighten up too. But I mean, I love the way it looks on the gesso. That was a happy accident one day. Do you want to tell a story while I dry these real quick? Because they're going to look different
sure,
after
sure.
they're dry.
I mean, I was just thinking there that sometimes uh, the point at which you put something on top of gesso will determine whether or not it changes. You know, so if the gesso is still wet, then in fact it might take on some of that colour. If it's dry, it's more likely to repel it a bit. And it doesn't matter which way it is, you can often get a really nice result. And, you know, sometimes, again, it is just that kind of happy accident type effect that, you know, if you catch it early enough, you can add colour. If you don't, but I like to score through gesso. So just taking a palette knife or any kind of mark making tool, do a few lines into it, and then putting something like either fluid acrylic or an ink, especially inks. I love inks, acrylic inks, putting them on top and just watching the way that it grabs into the grooves and sometimes to the top of the colour. So yeah, that's kind of one of my favourite techniques. You never quite know what you're going to get. But generally, I tend to love what I do see. So, yeah. Just trying to have a look at the chat again. Yeah, Eddie, I've got a few videos, Eddie, where I've kind of done that. You know, just put a layer of gesso down, make some marks into it, try it bits when it's dry, bits when it's wet, and just look for the different techniques. It always looks great. And put it on at different thicknesses, sometimes thin, sometimes thicker. And to me, it just adds great. If you like grungy, then that will absolutely give you results that I think you will enjoy. And I think I'm actually going to try these things that Sharon's doing. And Eddie, you said you had strips of book pages left, so yeah, maybe you can do something too.
And then as you put it on whatever project you're going to have these on, you know, you can have a stack of these ready to go. As you do that, you can fluff and, you know, do whatever you want to it. And you can add words. You could add, you know, some sort of a focal point. You put a butterfly on it, some tickets, and you know, it's just meant to be a layer. And I love it. Do some dog ears here. Do some little rips. Tear some out. You know, a lot of fun.
Hi, Mo.
Oh, Mo, hello. I should have sent you the link individually. I am so sorry. I thought I had sent it to everyone. I kind of went through my list. I don't have Facebook anymore, but I have Messenger, and it kind of gives me the list. And now I think about it, you didn't pop up on that list. So, I'm really glad you're here.
Oh, good to see you, Mo. If you know what I mean. I don't see you, but good to see you.
Yeah. So I'm going to do some of this, and I'm going to put some gesso on after and see what happens. So I'm just, you know, tearing it up here. And we'll do a few of these, and then we'll move on to our cover because, you know, I want to get at least one cover done today. So maybe
Julie and Eddie were talking about where things stick to your fingers. You know, you get a little bit of thread or a little bit of tissue paper and you're working and it's sticking. And
yeah.
you know, sometimes when I'm editing my videos back, I look and there I am. I'm trying to pull a bit off and then I look and it's still there. And I'm pulling it off and I'm pulling it off and I'm pulling it off.
That's
and you
so
get it
true.
off and then a second later it's back on again and you think, where did that come from?
That is so true. Okay, so now I'm just using a palette knife. You know, use different tools. Figure out what what works and what doesn't for you. You know, I'm just kind of trying to skim over the edges and pick up some of that, you know, where normally you would use a vintage photo. I'm using a gesso because it's solid color, you know, it's pretty thick. Liquid gessos do not work as well for this, but it's chalky. You can't really see through it. It might pull color up. I mean, it just does interesting things. You can make gesso too, guys. You don't have to own it. You don't have to, you know, make it. It's okay. So I've got this one, and this one hasn't been ruffled at all. So let's do that. Maybe twist it. This is fun too, by the way, guys, right here. You see a face with gasped mouth on the first one.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Oh, this?
Yep.
This
Yep.
one right here? Yeah.
Yep. Oh my goodness. Yep, definitely.
Yep. Okay, so I'm just gonna
I
kind
can
of
see the eye and the mouth.
go like this, and all those wrinkles. It's kind of like using vintage photo, you know, and when you run your ink pad over it or your brush, you pick up on all that texture, and look how interesting it is. Do you see that? See what happened there? So this is gesso after, gesso before. So I can spray this with the brown once again. And if you don't have walnut crystals, I highly recommend it because you can do all kinds of things with those walnut crystals. You can make every one of the Lindy's sprays. Oh my gosh, the cat got the door open. What are you doing? How'd you get in here? Did you open the door? You unlocked it? What'd you do?
Eddie says you can see a kind of horsey look in that piece, and I get where he's coming from because it's got the kind of long.
Oh yeah, I see it. The eye
Yeah,
right here, and
and the
the
eye on the
muzzle.
side of the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, and then I want to go over it again. Get some of this on there. That was way too much, but that's okay. There's no mistakes here. Only fun. Because when I spray that, it's going to be very interesting. Same here. And this one's already good. It's already got because the walnut spray dried in puddles on it, which, you know, is different sometimes with the heat tool and just letting it air dry. And this, I use the heat tool. So it pushed the puddles around and it created all this interest on there. All right. Yeah. So I'm just I don't want to get a whole lot on here. I'm gonna hold it up. I just want the edges. How interesting is that piece? I love it. Okay, now I'm going to spray it. Spray this one. All right, we're going to set these off to the side and let them air dry this time, I think. Unless you've got another story to tell. What do you think?
Me? Oh,
yeah, you.
Me. Sorry, I was reading Eddie's comment, which I was kind of giggling at, where he said, "Glad I didn't take my meds today. Easier to see things and other things. Just kidding." But of course, well, here's my story. It's not really a story, but yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing that we can look at something and see something else in it. And just now, I'm all about seeing kind of monsters, prehistoric monsters in kind of cave settings, and I just can't get away from it. Every time I look at something, I see some kind of strange creature. And yeah, I mean, from an artistic point of view, it's kind of great because I think, yeah, I can make something from this. But sometimes I think, wow, this is all getting a bit trippy. It's like I don't need to take anything to see this. So yeah, I mean, maybe because as artists, we just have the ability to look at things in a different way. You know, it's like looking at a tree. I've looked at a tree before and seen a face. And you say to other people, and they kind of think, well, okay, right, what's she been on? But I think we just look at things a little bit differently, and that's okay, because that, in a sense, is what gives us our inspiration.
And that. I love it. Okay, these can be used. And this, I think I just found something to add to my list of little things that I can do when I don't know what to do and I want to balance my nervous system and get some paint on my hands. This is fun. And think about every medium that you have. Think about how you could use it, especially the water soluble mediums or the inks. Your inks, Kylie, on these would be
Yep,
amazing.
definitely. Yep.
But I'll go one step further and say, if you wanted to, you could attach them together and put them on a roll. That way
Absolutely.
you can take some off when
Yep.
you need it, or like the rip strips, you can punch holes in the top, put them on a ring
Mm-hmm.
and hang them up, because then you
Yep.
can choose through them. And that's how I will probably, oh, I missed one, didn't I? That's
And
probably
then
how
add
I
it
will,
into a journal page or whatever when you
yeah,
want it.
yeah.
But
And in a
just
background,
yep.
hold on, let me
But
grab something.
even just hanging on a roll and looking through them, it'd be like looking through a kind of artist book, just
Yeah.
on a ring.
So
And they
let's
would
say I
just look
wanted to
absolutely
use
amazing.
one today, right? I could
Mm-hmm.
add, I mean, you can add anything you want to them. You can turn them into the skirt of your character, maybe. Maybe you have a girl, and I always use girls, but maybe it's her skirt, or maybe it's some fringe, or like some ruffles to put on her skirt. I'm looking for like one of the Tim Holtz people, and those are in a different envelope here. I haven't had these envelopes out in ages. It's the fat one, I think. Where are you? Where'd you go? Seriously, I don't know where it's at. It should be right here. They're all lined up. Let's push back. Not people. Not people. Sorry, guys. What did I do with it? I don't know where it's at. I really don't. Well, people are missing the Tim Holtz people, the cardboard black and white, they're already cut out. I think, you put a ticket on there, you put some other little doohickeys on there, some of these maybe, or something old, even a tag from a dress. There's another ticket. I'm going to leave those out because maybe we'll use some. I never use my tickets, and I put them here on my desk so I would remember, guys. It's pretty sad. I mean, I just never reach for them. And I don't know how this got in there, but it's a Giorgio Armani. It was on a tie, a necktie. And I think hanging, like a tab, only attached on one side maybe, would be cool. Okay, so I'm going to stack these up over here, and we'll get started on one of these. Yeah? I think that's the goal. I've got some words over here I can use. The first thing I do when I do a project like this is find my focal point. I think that is the most, that's where you start. It's like this, and I've used this before. Julie knows. It's like you need your lead singer first, right? That's what we need. So I have these pieces of canvas here. This one just has gesso on it. I'm going to find, let's say I'm going to do this one. I'm not going to attach it today, but I might want it, a little skinnier so I can leave a little bit of the edge, because this is a really old, beautiful blue book. And I could tear it. Tearing it would make a very cool edge on that. I can cover it with fabric. I can, you can, start your base any way you'd like, whatever feels good for you. I'm just going to trim this down a little bit. So, and I'm not good at this, so I better use a ruler. I'm so bad at getting things straight. I'm not a straight person. That's just not me. You can laugh at me all you want, but that's just not me. I'm a little crooked. And I need my, oh, I've got a ruler right here. All right, so I think that's the natural edge right there. So this one's a little crooked. I did it on my on my big cutter, and it's still crooked because, you know, that's me. I want to just take some of that off and hope it's straight. It doesn't have to be, but, you know, I'm going to use a pencil. And maybe I'll take a little off the top, just making it smaller. I should have got out some gauze or some fabric that's, yeah, it's crooked. Some fabric that I can fray. I think I have something behind me. My sewing stuff is on the other side of the room, and the desk is in the middle. But I do have lace and trim and all that stuff behind me. Mama, you cannot be in here. Percy, you cannot be in here. Kylie, tell a joke. I'm going to put her out and lock the door again.
A joke? A joke?
Yeah, tell her what you got. Or something. You get out. Yeah, girl.
Right. Well, we'll now have a moment of silence because I can never remember jokes. And I do admire these people that can tell jokes. But that's it from me, folks. So anybody got a joke? If you got a joke, put it in the comments.
Mine are all inappropriate because I was a bartender. So, and I haven't told them for years. So you don't get one from me.
I know. I hear them and I think, oh, I need to remember that.
Yeah,
and there's
I don't
maybe
hear
been
them
a
anymore.
couple over the years where I've passed them on, but yeah. Most of them I don't remember.
Isn't that funny? Okay, so I'm gonna find my focal point first here. And I pulled out some things. Those are out of 1945 Vogue magazine, and I really like her. What I want is a goddess, because this is my goddess book. So it's all strong, you know, female empowerment sort of stuff.
Did you say she's from a 1945 magazine?
Yes, a Vogue magazine. And this was also on there, which I really, and then that was on there. So I could use all three of those. I pulled her last, but before that I had these two out because I wanted somebody that looked strong, somebody that looked like a goddess, you know. And I'm partial to a redhead, but you know, that's okay. Because I have red hair. That's all. So I've got those, and I also have something else really cool here. Let me take a breath and have a sip of tea here. I don't know about you guys, but my ADHD is crazy with everything that's going on in the world, and that's the other reason why I have to just kind of walk away. I've been trying to come up here, and I need to make myself come up here more often. Do you find, Kylie, that if you say, oh, I'm going to get all my chores done so I can go in my art room, right? This is me. That's how I do that. But I also, if I come up in the morning, it's like I'm in a time warp, and all of a sudden it is 4 o'clock. Do you guys?
Yeah. I mean, in the past 2 or 3 weeks, I think, as I've said to you, I've been doing a lot of work in the garden, and I have actually just been enjoying being outside. Now, normally, I would want to be in my art room and in the studio doing stuff, but I've actually enjoyed being outside, having my hands in the earth, doing a bit of pruning in the garden, watching the bulbs and that start to come through. I mean, I'm obviously out with my birds, as I call them, every day. I feed my birds every morning. I watch them. I do
too. That's funny.
And it's kind of, I mean, Thursday past was actually a beautiful day here. It was like a spring day, a proper spring day here. And I did not want to come back in. You know, as much as I wanted to come in and make some art, I wanted to be outside and just enjoy the bit of sunshine, the blue sky. It was quite windy, but the beautiful air, and I'm just taking kind of comfort in a sense from just kind of being with the earth just
Being
now,
in
doing
nature.
earth
Yeah.
related things. So yeah,
Nature's really important right now. It is such a great way to balance your nervous
yeah,
system in a
yeah,
normal situation when the
yeah,
world is normal.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm just getting out some stuff here that I may or may not use. I, I
I
copied
mean,
that.
that image, the one that you're not holding, the other one, I won't touch the screen. I mean, that could be in a modern
She's a
day
goddess.
Vogue. You would
Yeah,
not, if that was in a modern day Vogue. I would not that I look at Vogue magazine. That makes me sound like I'm kind of
it's from
up with
this.
the fashion, but it could just be so now, and it's a kind of timeless quality, isn't it?
It is. And well, and I think she looks so strong and powerful, and that's why I chose her. I think she looks strong. She also looks like a
Mm,
redhead. She might have red hair. I
mm.
don't know. So if I use her on here, and so this is my palette, I don't have to, frame her and do the whole, give her all of that. I can go off to one side if I want to. And I may just do that. I may make her a strip, perhaps, or I could put her in a frame. This is just like a card I had, and I painted it and put embossing powder on it and I glued it and turned it into like a pocket. But I was just playing one day. That's it. And it's got chalk right here. But I have it in this envelope sitting next to my desk. So I really like, if I use these colors, not this, if I use these colors, I really want sort of grungy, but I'm going to keep it more like that.
Oh, Julie told a joke.
Oh, good. We need a joke.
What sits on the seabed and shivers?
I don't know.
A nervous wreck.
Oh, that sounds like me right now, huh? I'm really not nervous. I'm just,
I'm
there's a
thinking of
lot
your
of energy.
I'm thinking of your shipwreck bottles.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just pulling a few of these out. I may use one, I may not. I may decide that it doesn't go with her specifically. But it doesn't have to go, really. I mean, it doesn't. But I will put these off over here.
When you put them back, sorry, when you put them to the side of her, it looks like a weathered background, so when you get old wood, it's weathered.
Uh-huh.
It's like a weathered background.
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So some of these pages were from this magazine page, which is very thin. And then I also have the exhaustive concordance of, I can't remember what it's called. It's really thick and the pages are thin, and it's like a breakdown of the Bible. It was one of those things that I got at that yard sale. It was the end of the day, and she was like, you can just have them, because I just wanted a couple of the really old books. This one that we are using, it's the Gospel and the Stars, and I didn't realize it was comparing and I'm not church, I'm spiritual, but not church, not Bible, but it's comparing the Bible to the zodiac signs is what it is. The whole book isn't that weird? But it's really old too. So I got all those religious books, and that was one of them. It's the main concordance of something with the guy's name. I think these are interesting.
Yeah, Anne was saying those other pieces that I was saying were kind of weathered looking, look like bark, old bark.
They do.
Yeah, like bark.
They really do.
Yeah. It's like a tree.
Some of them have that feel for sure.
Yeah.
I think this is a nice piece for this because of there's real
Colors
orange in there.
go great, yeah.
Yeah. And then these are just some pieces of card that were left over from something else probably. And I just have them in this envelope sitting here. So I'm just kind of going through them. I like that one too, but I can't do both. And oh, I have this. This has been hanging out for a long time. Some cereal box and a book page glued to it. And then it's got some texture paste, some Nouveau Mousse. And I love this piece and it matches her hat. Kind of going with that maybe. Pulling out some of the rest of the band here. So I could take these pieces and make them my base for some of these too, because it's cardstock. So if it was the base, now obviously you can't use it in the layers because it's not going to ruffle the same. You can, I mean, but it's not the same. Let's see. I like that, but you know, maybe I'll use fabric for, oh, there's some chain. Let's put that away. You guys remember this one? That one's good too. Ooh, okay. So those are my kind of what I'm thinking. I'll not use them all, but kind of getting a selection here. And then Kylie, you're going to help me make some choices. How's that sound?
Ooh, right.
Because
Okay.
you know, it goes quicker if we're making these choices together, like we did that art journal page the other day.
As David Bowie said, under pressure.
Under pressure. Well, between the two of us, I think we get it done faster.
We do.
Because, yeah, and we
Yep.
often think the same, you know, along the same lines. So I'm going to save these, and some of these are going to go with, you remember the free kit, the Texture Junkies kit that we have? With all the goddess statues. I think these are from an old Byzantine, you know, like the ceiling of a church. It's the painting on there. So these, I think I like the chain with her. Do you see the chain?
Yep, definitely. Yep.
For some reason, I'm liking that.
Yep.
And then I could add real chains too.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. Because I can, you know, I'm going to make it 3D. I want to use the Giorgio.
There's almost
Armani.
like a light bulb. I'm pressing the screen. Sorry.
There is. That is
There
a
is
light
a
bulb.
light bulb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a light bulb.
Yeah.
And there's another chain there. It's just, this is like the ghost print, like when I sprayed over a stencil, and then this was the stencil that had the stuff on it. So all of these are kind of those.
It might have been
ghosts,
great
sort
to
of.
have the light bulb above her head, but then you would lose her hand.
Yeah,
below.
we won't have room.
Yeah.
I could always have things coming off of it. And I may, let's do this because, and I want to put a piece of fabric behind her, I think. And let me see that real quick because I've got some good stuff here. I've got my rusty fabrics. Got some bigger pieces. That one's nice.
Oh, yeah.
There's a green piece. I'm just looking in this. I use these bags that comforters come in for all of my sort of fabric bits and lace, and you know, they're just good for that. This one just has a bit of this and that in it. That's gold there. I want to go that route, but maybe not with the rest. I think the first thing I should do is cover this with tissue paper, and then I can make some decisions. It'll get, some of it'll get covered, and that's fine. Some of it'll have fabric like ruffled on it, or how about the stripes? Do we want the stripes, guys? How do we feel about that with her? I think that's nice. Or do we use the gold? Kylie, this is your choice right here.
Gosh, yeah.
We're going to cover a lot of it, so
I think the stripes is more striking. The gold, so the stripes might end up showing through a little bit, and I like the fact that it mirrors the kind of background to her. You know, so the kind of lines going
kind of
down.
The lines in the wood.
Yep, yep.
So we like that.
It's vibrant, but If you're going to tone it down a bit, that might just go with just a little bit shown through.
I will, and it will be only a
Yeah,
little.
and
I
that,
won't get married
and,
to it.
and
So we'll
Eddie
just
says
do that.
stripes. So if Eddie says stripes, then
Yeah.
we need to go with it.
So I'm going to use real glue this time, only because I want kind of some crinkling going on. Some, it's just another layer of texture. Even if it gets covered, it'll be a peek underneath something, It doesn't have to be perfect. We want it imperfect. It's kind of unusual to mix something so modern with something so grungy. And we're going to figure out how to do that here today.
Yep, you can do it.
Yeah, we can do it. So this is school glue and water. That's all. Get a nice layer on there. And I'm encouraging a wrinkle or two. Let's go to the edge here.
You gotta have a wrinkle or two.
Yeah, we have those, don't we?
Or 6 or 7 or 8.
Yeah. It's my neck. I don't really have a lot of wrinkles on my face. I'm just starting to get them around my lips, which I don't like, and I'm using a lot of cream on it. But my neck, I don't know what happened. It was like I woke up one day and my neck is segmented. I don't like it. I feel like an earthworm. But I'm hyper aware of other people's necks. So, like I'm noticing everyone has it and they're calling it tech neck. It's from looking at our phones.
They're calling it what, sorry?
It's called tech neck. It's from looking at your phone.
Tech neck.
When you look down at your phone, actually named it. It was in Japan or China. It was in China, because a lot of the young kids are getting tech neck now from looking at their phone.
It was like all the big thumbs, wasn't it? For a while it was about the thumbs were changing shape.
Yeah, yeah, like that. I forgot about that. So I'm just gonna. All I'm doing is going around the edges. So if the edge shows, which it probably won't, but if it does, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just I want to cover that.
Oh, Mo says they're not wrinkles. They're special channel drools make when you sleep.
Huh?
So Mo says they are not wrinkles, albeit she's written winkles, which that's
I like that better. Those are my winkles.
Yeah, so they're not. They are special channels drool makes. So we wouldn't talk about drool. We'd talk about slavers when you sleep.
Huh. So the drool. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
It took me a second. I had to look up and see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's from smoking, honestly. Around my lips.
Yeah.
That's what that is. And I'm not. My mom told me that was going to happen. I have to say. Yeah. My mother warned me. I'm going to do something crazy now.
Mama told me not to do that.
Yeah. She told me not to do that, but I did it anyway. I'm kind of thinking either I'm going to do a little gesso on it, or I want to tone it back. That's what I want to do. So like push it back into the background so it's not as bold, and it doesn't take away from her, and it also goes with our grunge. So that could be, well, I don't think my spray is strong enough, but we'll see. Let's see here. All right. Give it because it's brown already underneath, but really I'm bringing out the wrinkles in it. Don't do that to your face. That's all I have to say. Just don't do that action to your face right there.
Unless it's a photograph of yourself that you want to alter.
Yeah. Okay. I don't recommend it. I just don't. So I'm just going to get a little bit of gesso on my thing here. And notice I sprayed it first. So it's going to mix with the spray, and it's not going to
Mm.
be striking white. Look at that. Look at that. And some of it, most of it's going to get covered, but I know it's there. It's an inspiring layer to get me to the next one. How's that? I really love the walnut spray in so many instances. You notice I'm using it in all these different layers, and it is so nice to push things back, to dull things down, because we like grungy things or we like the tertiary colors. That walnut ink spray really does it. Did I send you some walnut crystals, Kylie? Did I
No,
send you a
no,
little packet of them?
no. I
No.
can probably get them here, but I must look.
I feel like I thought I sent some in a little Ziploc, but
Yeah, I
maybe
don't
that
think
maybe that
so.
was
Yeah,
Lisa I'm thinking of.
yeah,
It could be
yeah.
Lisa.
So
Okay, so
Julie says her Nana Simpson had wrinkles around her lips, but she never smoked. She used to whistle tunes all the time, and that's how she got them.
I'm gonna tell people I'm a professional whistler.
I'm a
That's what it is.
whistler, not
You know, I forget
whistler as
that
in Whistler's mother.
Julie and I are kind of related. I forget that she's also a Simpson. That is
Ah,
my maiden. Yeah,
see,
that's my
see,
maiden name.
we're all connected
We
somewhere
are.
or other. We're all
So
connected.
I'm gonna put her on. And I kind of want to push her over a little bit. I'm going to put her on this piece of cardstock. The reason why, this paper is so thin and so brittle that when you put it down, it's going to end up wrinkling. Plus, whatever layer I'm on, I need it to be flat. So I'm going to go to my very favorite glue here, my Crafters Workshop matte gel medium, because it is the best for these thin papers. And I recommend, if you're going to use old brittle magazines, glue it down first before you cut it out, before you do, glue it, the bulk of it down, and then cut it out. It's a lot easier. Plus it'll lay right in your work. Does that make sense? I know I'm pretty, my brain's working overtime today. It's kind of fast. Okay. So this has been refilled and refilled. That's why it looks like this. You can use a palette knife. You can use a brush. I think usually I just use a card with it, but I just decided on this today. Get it in water right away, though. This really is the best glue. I have the fewest wrinkles with this glue. Oof. As it dries, it starts to wrinkle up. I want her hand in there. Just making sure it's nice and flat. So as it dries, it'll stay that way. I really like her. I really, really like her. I'm thinking I need to do something to her. Her bracelets, maybe I'll put something in her hand, and I feel like her hat needs something, but that might be a layer at the end, like flowers or a transfer or something. She also will need covered because
I'd love to know who she is.
yeah, she's fabulous, isn't she?
Mm.
She's just one of the models.
Mm.
And 1945, that's hard to, it's hard to find.
Yep.
Figure out who she is, unless she's in a lot of stuff. But even then, we didn't have supermodels back then, so. So I'll decide how much more of this I want to cut off. And I actually think what I'm going to do is cut around her right here and leave this side the way it is, because I think that will create some more interest when I put her down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now and risk getting glue on my scissors. It's so much easier to cut these out after you back them. The Tim Holtz people must be downstairs. I'm thinking about it here.
What did you say there?
I said my Tim Holtz people must be downstairs. I'm
Oh,
still thinking
right.
about how I couldn't find them just now. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. No,
deciding if I want
yeah.
to keep
My
that or
mind went somewhere else.
what would you think I said?
No, no. I heard Tim Holtz people must be downstairs, and I thought, do you think Tim Holtz is watching in on you? Because yeah, you're doing something special here.
Those are yeah. She's losing her mind.
No, 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 no. I'm back to the rustic
No,
unhinged.
yeah. I am slightly losing. Aren't we all losing our mind right now though? I mean, I'm not the only one. I
Yeah,
know I'm not.
Mo says you must have Tim chained in your basement.
Yeah, little black and white people.
Yeah,
Like colors
yeah.
completely drained out of them.
Rita says they're having a party. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah. I say don't let them see what you're doing because they might want to copy it.
So let's see. Oh yeah, no kidding. Don't let Tim Holtz see this, right?
No, don't let them
So
see
I've
the
got
unhinged.
my little tickets here. I'm going to set off to the side. I've also got this beautiful piece here, and obviously got my ruffles. I really like this. It's rusted, you know. I have other fabrics behind me too that I should probably get for some layering, but I think I can, if I put her on the part that doesn't have anything, she'll lay flat. I just really want her hand in there though. It's not wide enough.
Actually, without joking, but well, no, not joking. And just with you saying that and me interpreting it differently, it's amazing how often at the moment I'm reading stuff, and obviously there's a lot of stuff going about just now, and you know about this, that, and the next thing. We all know
Right,
about what, and
right.
it's like I read something by someone from the US, and I don't understand it because there's like I can't think how to describe it. It's you know they do say it's a language divided by the pond or whatever, and I see things and I think I really
Okay,
do
I'm
not
just gonna do it.
understand this. I know the words, but I don't understand the sentiment behind it. And yeah, it's just
Upside
bizarre.
down though. So I'm definitely gonna put this behind her. I'm gonna put it her head above it. And I really want it on that side, but I feel like it's upside down. I feel like it needs to go this direction where these little things are pointing up. So I am going to probably put her there, and I'll get something else that's going to go behind her head. You know, I do that anyway. You guys know that. I always have to have some sort of a crown or a headdress or something. And she's a goddess. She's a strong female for us, and you know, she's our inner goddess right here. So this is going to go here. So I'm going to start looking at some layers. I'm going to cut off the chain because I may or may not use it. I could just get that stencil out. It could have, you know, been a place to start. Could put it down the side of this. So it'll get cut. What I'm thinking is cut it. And I really do like that behind her because it matches her hat. What do you think?
It does. Yeah, it does.
And then let me grab this because
I
I've
also
got
like the fact
this.
that the background is just slightly greyed compared to her outfit, so it makes it pop more.
Thinking some sheer something here.
Ooh,
I
yes.
also have a black and white stripe for like the spine to make it all match. Or I have this kind of stuff, like this veil sort of. But I'm thinking more like black pieces. Could use velvet, red velvet. Hope that doesn't match. This is a great big bag of this stuff over here. This just got all kinds of weird things in it. No velvet. Sorry, I know you guys can't see what I'm looking through. It's too big for my desk. It takes up my whole desk. So I do have this stuff too. Let's put that aside right there. Ooh. Ooh, this is sequins on it. And it's like, I know I've used that on a cover before. More of the black. And black velvet. I'm liking the black as an accent here because that. I with the black and white stripe, I feel like it really goes.
Ooh, I think Mo's maybe been doing a wee bit of research.
What's
Because
that?
he said, as Mo's been doing a wee bit of serious research,
Uh-huh.
because he says, as a serious statement and not a typo, this model may be called Jeanette Randy, who
Really?
seems, who seems to have been used by a lot. Sorry, who seems to have been used a lot by Vogue in the time of the magazine. So
So,
I've just Googled her, and yes.
so do you have you really, there's images of her going back that far?
Yep,
That's
yep, Mo's
crazy.
found them. Yeah. Well done,
Wow.
Mo.
Okay, so I'm just
That's
throwing all this stuff up
fantastic.
here. That's amazing. I can't believe that. I mean, we didn't have the internet back then. So, and we also didn't have, we didn't have supermodels. So I'm shocked that you can find that still. So I've
But
got really
I watched something recently. What the heck was it? It was, what was the film called? Was it Lee, about a photographer in World War II, played by Kate Blanchett? I
uh-huh.
think she was. Now, forgive me, I can't remember if she was American or Canadian, staying in the UK, and went to World War II. It was Kate Blanchett, I think, played her, and
And she played
was
she was a photographer.
she was a photographer,
Uh-huh.
and she had originally been a model, doing stuff, I think, for Vogue and all the big fashion magazines, or maybe some less salubrious. But she then started during World War II providing reports and images from the war for Vogue magazine. And
Really?
yeah, it was
That's
an
amazing
interesting
they had
film.
a woman.
It was just a few nights
Now.
ago. Well, of course, she had to kind of, yeah, at times
So I'm
sneak
just
into things, dress as a man. But yeah, so
Oh, she
so
was dressed
so
as a man.
well,
Interesting.
she tried to sneak in as a man, but was discovered for who she was. But it was a really good film, slightly slow, but I just watched that a week or so ago.
Can
But
you
Vogue,
you can't
I
remember
think
the name?
I think it was just called Lee, Lee.
Okay, I'm going to
Let me
trim
see if
this
I can
down
find it.
so that I can get I'm going to go ahead and trim this piece down. I've had this for so long, standing up in a postcard base thing, like ready to play with. So I'm not going to keep all of it. So you'll have to come up with the name of that and share it with
It
us.
was simply called Lee, Lee.
Lee. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and it was
I've
Kate
never heard of it.
Blanchett. The story of photographer Elizabeth Lee Miller, a fashion model who became an acclaimed war correspondent for Vogue magazine
Really?
during World War II. It's
That's
worth
awesome.
watching. Yeah.
So I'm just kind of getting some edges here.
Hi, Rhonda.
Rhonda, hello. We started at 11 today. I know it was confusing for some people. I'm so glad you made it. We're talking about this model right here. We're doing covers, and they can be independent, of the book, and you add it at the end. So that's kind of what we're working with here. And I've got all these things. You guys see what I'm kind of stepping in here with this, because I want it to kind of go with our grungy papers here.
Yeah, Eddie's just corrected me, and yeah, I just sometimes get mixed up with the actresses. It wasn't who I said, it was Kate Winslet.
Okay, okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah, who's a great actress.
Which are
Yeah,
basically the same people.
the film's called Lee anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, basically the same people in my brain, because they're so alike. They even kind of look alike. Although Kate Blanchett is a lot more famous. So I'm trying to figure out, this is going to have layers of fabric in between of some sort here. And I've got this edge of an edge of a table runner, but it was like a handmade, and it was falling apart because it had like handmade lace on it. And I'm thinking I can put some sort of a little frame on here with this as one of the layers. And then maybe some of these, but I want a longer one. What do you think? This one very much looks like a tree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I may or may not use these though. I'm trying to, but I may put that on the next one, These are so fun to make.
I personally feel like I want the background the immediate background to her to be slightly not a straight line.
Not this piece right here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's
Just
do that.
slightly,
Yeah,
just
let's do that.
slightly taking that straight line off the top. I just think it feels a bit.
Right here.
Yeah.
So, and
But
I'm also going to probably do
that's
something to her head,
yeah.
because I've got her, she's hanging off of it, obviously, and this is kind of a thing over her hat that I've cut out perfectly. But I think I may end up doing that, but I'm going to leave it like that for right now, because so this way. And then do we want to keep the bottoms? Yeah, we want the bottom straight. But that does look good because this mirrors this.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I was thinking more rugged, but yeah, I can see how that mirrors that. I get that.
And then in our layers, I'm thinking she's more like, this is too pretty. I'm thinking she's more like this. Like I could see her with a veil over her face, or but I need to spray this because it's white. Or I have some gold over here. I do. My son always finds really cool ways to wrap my gifts, and this year he wrapped it was an antique wooden tray. It was big oval, and he put all of the inks and the different things that he got me for Christmas on the tray with chocolates and with like a big, and then he wrapped it all in this, and it's so cool that he does that. Last year it was a blanket. What do you think of I like the gold right here. What do you think of that? It's kind of flat, but maybe I could scrunch it up a little. I want it to have some more texture, really. And I could spray a little tulle, put around it. I also have this. This is off of an old dress. And it's very much with the times, but I don't know that I can, unless I just take that piece off. Whoa, let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Let's see it. I think she's more black sequins, isn't she? But I want to have a fabric layer in between. That's the plan here. Let's see if I can rip it. No, I don't want to rip sequins. I need different scissors. Those are not for fabric. Those are they're old paper scissors, Yeah, I can see her with like a veil over this hat even. And we may pull out some mica tile. Put a little
Ooh.
piece of that on there. Wouldn't that be good? Like across her
Mm.
eyes or something,
Yep.
like I did
Yep.
with one of them. Okay, I'm gonna cut a hunk of this off. We'll see what we can do with it. It really wants to be ruffled. All right. And then I have this pretty black trim over here. This goes with her. Or this. So let's see this. Bit of gold sequin. It may have to go on top because it's kind of fancy, huh?
Ooh.
I don't know how I feel.
I
I'm
don't know
having
either.
mixed feelings. What do you think? Or just maybe I just put a piece right here. I like that, actually.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Just the length of it.
Yeah. I'm not gluing anything yet, you notice, because I'm getting my layers first to see what goes in between. And I also have this, which feels like that net, that might go. It's got wire edges that I keep or I take out. But it could be underneath part of this because we want layers. I want it to be enough layers that we look at it and we have to dissect it with our eyes and examine the layers that are all together here. Kind of doing the same thing we did with the paper over there, but with these kind of things. Yeah, I like that. What do you think?
Yep.
With my art, I always say it's like throwing everything in a paper bag and shaking it up. And I can't believe the mixture of things that I get on my desk that just don't go together. Like ink and jewelry and gesso, all of it on my desk. So maybe then I have some of, I could just do some little puffs with these, like on her hat. Look at that.
I wouldn't have thought of that, but it goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe I'll just make her a little thing here. I can just put a needle through it or whatever. This would make really good bows too. Okay, I got this. I might even have some that has some thread on it handy. I'm just going to run a needle through it real quick here. I wish I had one that was already. I don't. All right. Yeah, see here? Gesso on my hands, needle and thread. They don't go together. I should not be using those scissors. It's going to be so frayed. Uh-oh, I dropped my little thing. Oh.
Yep. And you had your needle in your mouth there, which gives me the heebies.
Why does that bother you? Are you afraid I'm going to swallow it?
Yeah. I can just tell when it's there and I get...
Oh, I'm sorry. And I don't think about it, I use my mouth a lot.
It's okay. It's just, I know when you're doing it and I go...
Sometimes it's good that I'm using my mouth because that means that this is a book needle. It's for binding books. That means I'm shutting up if I'm not something in my mouth, I'm generally quieter, which is a good thing sometimes.
No, 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 no. I can just always tell when you've done that, and I just feel a kind of panic.
That's funny. Okay, so I'm gonna just take it around here. This is beige gold sort of thread here. And then I'll cut it and see how long we want kind of that little piece to stick out of her. And maybe I'll add some other 3D elements also to the hat, you know, sticking up out of it. I think that's kind of fun. All right, knots. Or even some little flat back pearls, or I don't know, something. We're decorating her little, what is this? Is this a fez? Is that what it's called? With the box?
Yeah, it's like a fez.
It's a little fez.
Mm.
Okay, so this is here, and or I'm going to do a longer one on this side, and then we'll look at them. And then I can add more. Ooh, I like that.
Mm. Yep. It's
And
like the sun's
then
rays coming out.
it's like what?
Sun's rays.
Oh yeah, yeah, it kind
The
of
rays
is.
of the sun. Yeah.
But then do I have another longer piece over here? Maybe. Okay, so we know that goes there. This goes behind. I may want to take a stencil to this black background or something. I don't know. I feel like it needs something else still. And then I also have, this has like crosses on it. I have some white like this too, but I think if I use some of this, it'll be at the end. Same here. I've got these flowers. I'm getting too caught up in the trim, I think. I think that's probably gonna do it for that. So do I want to use some of this canvas? Do I need that? Like a strip of it? Let's see it. Let's just see how we go. Maybe I'll do that cross thing again that I did last week with the art journal page.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be where this starts. Just behind her head. This could cover the whole book, technically. I could let it go off. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
If I let it leak off there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a layer. I gotta figure out what I'm doing to this black because it needs something, doesn't it? It's still not working, I think. Let me grab. Okay. I think this is Glastonbury. The Glastonbury Abbey and the Isle of Avalon. And I have some of these travel books and I absolutely love them because I love using these sort of images. And maybe there's something I can put on the black that'll kind of show through there. Just hang out the bottom and it'll show through. Does it show enough though? It's not enough interest on that bit of building there. I've used this in my hard book. That's what it was. Some black and white.
Ooh.
I love that. but
Mm.
a lot of it won't show. Then I could
No.
really fray that edge there, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But this is almost too good to put behind something. Skeleton. Let's see. She looks like a goddess, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
She's beautiful. It's got to be kind of a skinny slice is all we need. This is interesting enough. With that. Okay, I'm taking this page out. What is that? It's the same as the cover. But I'm thinking like I could use this. I wish it was going the other way.
Yeah, I
So I'll
mean,
use
those are
this.
such strong shapes. I think they would be
Yeah.
great. I think that's what it needs. Yeah.
And then maybe I don't even need that piece of netting, or I can put it elsewhere. I do really like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm not mad at that, and I would do this probably with it. Okay, just because it's weird, mostly. Some of this may be trimmed off, but we'll see. And I can use the other half somewhere else. I'm just going to make an executive decision here with this. I don't know why I feel like I need that, but it just, and I like the tree in there.
Yep.
These shapes here.
And actually, having cut it out and cut a lot of the blue sky out, it's muted it without having to mute it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I'm gonna give this some you know, some trim, and I'm not really going with the shape of this, but I'm kind of using the stencil as a, you know, it doesn't have to make sense. The shapes just has to be kind of jaggedy and different.
Yep.
And I'll do that to that corner too. Not sure. And probably this top edge.
Yep. Yeah, because it will soften it in a rugged way.
Yeah, it just gives it more interest, really.
Yep.
I'm gonna cut way down in this. This is a cereal box, by the way, or a cracker box. Cereal. Tony the Tiger. I see his eye. Okay, and then we know that that part doesn't show. So
he's great, isn't he?
He is great. Yeah, he's great.
He's
so got
great.
That. And then I might move her over just a little more this way, because I want more of these lines to show here. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I'm making a decision here. Just using a glue stick. I'm leaving a little black edge, and I'm probably going to put something across the bottom, so that doesn't matter. I can leave a gap there because I'll put something here. And then maybe that's just that. So maybe we don't do that in the middle. Put this here. You know, a lot of this kind of work is changing your mind too. you know that, right? Yeah, you guys see me do it all the time. I go back and forth with stuff. Oh, you know what I can use? These guys right here. Think about this one or this one, and cut out some little shapes. I've also got the red. So I have this red. Nah, that's really,
Ooh.
I have this though. And I
Mm.
have this. I think this one, because I can cut these individual shapes out and lay them. What do you think? Oof. I had some that were cut out here because I used them already like that. So this is more of a finisher, I guess, like going around the edges. One of those second to the last things you do, or you glue down. Look at how pretty those are, though. I mean, oh, these go with her. I can see her wearing a gold lame dress. So there's 3. I'll cut out a 4th for good measure, just in case we want 4. There. All right. I do have this too. So let's see. Maybe. Nope. I don't like it. Once again. I'm just fighting with the black and white, I think. I'm going to trim this down a little bit. And then I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and add her to this because we're going to have to build something up behind her so that her head's not floppy. So I'm going to glue her on here with some of this, I think, some paste. A little thicker. The glue should be as thick or as strong as whatever you're working with. So tissue, glue stick. But the thicker your paper gets, the thicker. I might use this bird too. It's stamped on a piece of satin from the inside of a tie. Probably that Giorgio Armani. Probably have to put some cardboard behind her head or whatever it is I decide to put back there. I guess I could add. Maybe I'll leave. That doesn't go there anyway. So I'm not getting it all the way up to the edges, just in case I want to tuck something in. So I want her hand, because her hand's going to hold something. And we're going like that. And while this dries, I can find the other and start building on the black and white. Glue on my scissors. Okay. I worry about this, glue on my scissors. Really, these are dull and they're for paper, but nobody wants that, right? And then I need to put a clothespin on that so it dries flat on both sides. So I'm going to go like this. I use some clothespins a lot because they're gentle. They have that flat wide right there. It's better than any other clip because you get that flat even and you don't get like a little crease from a clip. And then we're going to build up her head with another piece.
So just as a time check, you're about 7 minutes to the 2-hour mark.
Really?
I know.
Did that go by fast?
It did. I just suddenly thought, I wonder where we're at. So, but you know,
my goodness.
just keep going. If you can keep going, keep going.
I can keep going. I've got it in my soul right now. We're there. We're also going to add some other weird things. So yeah. Yep, I've got this one in my soul. I can feel it. It's coming on.
Oh, Julie, no. She said when Kylie goes silent, she worries my internet has dropped out.
Oh.
Well, yeah. Sometimes that happens, but
Sometimes,
sometimes I'm
yeah.
just so engrossed in the process. I don't want to talk so much that I kind of interrupt the flow of things, but yeah, I'm still here.
It's like the sun, and it's also behind her head, and I like that. So yeah, I'm thinking that is going to go right there. Of course, I need to go up a little bit. There we go. Let's see how this looks on the book. Now, I do have some other weird things, like I said, over here. And that might be what I need to build her head up, because that is about the right thickness right there. And it can stick up off of there. I like that. And we'll do that with some other things too that stick up. So I really like that. We're going to keep that. So we have our sun. I'm still not married to that black and white. I'm the color. It's the color. It's
It maybe just
no.
needs a little bit muted, but
Yeah, I think it needs
yeah,
pushed back still somehow. So
just a
or
little bit.
covered.
I think it needed the stripes,
It
but
does. Yeah.
yeah, but
But I need to put something sheer over them. And right now I'm going to do this while it's exposed.
hi, Lexi.
Lexi, hello. Hey buddy, how you doing?
She's been gaming with her dad,
Oh,
and it went late.
that's okay.
So she's
I'm
saying a
so
brief
glad you're
hello
here, honey.
to everyone.
I love it when I think this time is nice for several people. You and we get Lexi if we go earlier. So if I do that and her head, we got to have her thing here. And maybe it just goes like that. Reminiscent of the sun, and then she's got this veil coming out of her hat. Or I sewed that for nothing, and I need to use it on something else. There's always that. I mean, or I could make it a bow. Or part of her dress. I'm not mad at that.
No, I think that is looking good.
So I've got this right here, and I'm thinking maybe I can push back the black and white if I spray this with something and lay it over the top. What do you, should we try that? Let's try it.
Yep.
Doesn't hurt a thing. Trying does not hurt. I need another clip on here though, because I see that it's lifted up right here.
So Lexi says she's about to collage on a little box, and it's always nice to finish something, isn't it? Just Lexi, just sometimes getting a project finished. Doesn't matter what it is.
I still think because I added the building there, it's the same colors. And this could end up or here. I don't hate that. I do have some other things, some other weird things I pulled aside here. Got a rusty 7, something I put some texture paste on and rusted a long time ago. And I have a whole set of these in there for like a reader board. And if I could find a way to add that, I will, but I may not. It could be like I take this off and it would have to be sewn down or some really good glue. Let me spray this while we little with this stuff.
Put her down and the 7 on top.
And the 7 on top. Yeah.
To the side.
To which side?
No, yeah, the right-hand side.
Right here?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. It just feels.
It's balancing this right here.
Yeah.
And then
it's on the top of the curve of the arch thing from the thing. The thing,
the thing and the thing.
The thing and the thing, and it's balancing the thing.
And there's more thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe this at the bottom, because we're going weird here. And this might be too sparkly now. What do you think? We just have that back. Because I think our sun is too It's too new.
Yeah.
It's
I
too
mean, I
new.
still think like that's like something radiating from her.
Uh-huh. It does feel like that, or something off of
Yep.
her hat. I've got this
Yep.
piece of it's an old clip earring, and it's heavy actually. I can take the clip back off of it and I could add that. It almost looks like a
Oh,
8.
oh, this is important
What's
from
that?
Mo. This is important. So she says, unless nerd info, but I think nerd info is so important. Glastonbury Abbey, so the building that Sharon used, was first established in the 7th century and built up to the stone structure. So the 7 really goes. And it's funny.
Really?
And it's
How
funny, I did
cool.
not know that, but as soon as I saw the 7, I thought
Oh
it
my
goes.
goodness. Okay, so
Yeah.
we are using the Rusty 7 then,
I think we need to
because
use
it's
the
weird.
7.
We like it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I have this that came
Thank you,
off
Mo.
of it's a piece of bendy. I have another one here that's more, it's even older, but it says 2.5 yards, 25 cents. That one's a little more shiny. This one is duller, and I'm thinking I'm going to use it like a little clip right here and bend it around that for no reason at all. This is going to be a nice place to add a focal, like some words, or
Yep.
something
Yep.
here, a piece of lace or whatever it is. And I still feel like this mimics this and
Mm-hmm.
wants
Mm-hmm.
to be here or
Yep.
here or coming down from the top. Ooh, okay. Maybe that's covering my black and white a little. Okay, we don't
Mm.
need this. I'm going to move all this stuff because I have these little things here, like the ticket. I'm going to keep this little piece of black lace here. We've got the little bit of sequin, which might be too shiny now. This one's not as shiny, so I'm not mad at that one. It's not as sparkly as a sequin. I really like the bird. I really want to use a bird. You know me and birds. I also have, I need to put something in her hand, and maybe that's where the bird goes. And I need to find like a bird sticker, or let me move this. It's in the way. I don't want it. Yeah, I just like pulled some weird stuff out. I have bunches and buckets of this stuff, but I wanted to kind of pick the weirdest stuff. I've got old buttons too, and she's a fashion model there. I really want a bird in her hand, but not that one. Wish I had a smaller 3D bird. That's what I need. Okay, this is a tie liner. I want her hand to still show though, so this may not work. But it is satin from a Giorgio Armani tie, and we will still have that. Unless it's too masculine. What do you guys think? Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think?
Personally, and I don't know why, I would have Giorgio, but not Armani.
Yeah?
I don't know why. That's just me.
And we'll leave it
Let me
hanging
look
off.
up
Yep.
Giorgio.
Yep.
Let me
Yep.
look it
I'm
up.
seeing it.
Yep.
I see it. I see. Like if we have it hanging off here, and then we have this one here, and this hanging off of her side there, but she's kind of holding the bird. This also could go this way, out of her hat. Oh, I don't hate that.
Oh,
Or
so the word
down from the top.
or the name Giorgio is obviously a form of George,
Mm-hmm.
which is from the Greek name
I'm
Georgios,
gonna take
from
this
gorgeous, meaning
from
farmer,
gorgeous. Uh-huh.
earthwork. Well, Georgios, meaning earth worker.
Huh. Oh,
So,
I took it
yeah,
off. I got it.
I think that goes.
Oh, it came right off. Oh, I'm so happy. And I can use these elsewhere. This needs a little bit more. I used this is not completely layered. I've got the red sand, the brown sand, and I need to touch it with more brown and yellow, just paint on my finger. But that'll be a last thing. Maybe Giorgio is here somewhere and just sticks off the edge. I'm kind of liking it here underneath. And some of these here, I think she's probably glued. These are in my way. Okay, I'm going to put her bird on. And I'm leaving it straight right there on that side. I could fray it a little. Problem with silk when you glue it down, you end up seeing the glue. So I either have to go all, the whole back of it, or maybe I can use a glue stick. I'm not sure. I mean, it's light. Maybe if I just do the whole area. Otherwise, you end up with dots, That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Oh. Okay, that worked.
Yep.
I can't believe a glue stick did that. And I'm leaving it hanging off like a tag. I wonder if this goes here. We'll see. When we get it on the thing, that's when I'll add these pieces, because it'll depend on how much of that is showing. So what I'm going to do now is add these, I think, and that will be what tones down my my black and white a little bit, kind of pushing it more back to the background. But I also have these little tickets here, and I could put something underneath right here. Is it bad to have two numbers there? Are we mad at two numbers? This needs cut out the rest of the way, but It's going to go on an edge. How are we feeling about that? Scuff up the edges, give it a little ink. How's everybody doing out there? Hanging in? So this needs plier. Nope. Oh. I had physical therapy yesterday, and
I've asked everybody in chat what they think about two numbers. Waiting for a reply.
Okay.
But Mo has come in more nerd. I get tired at this time of night, and it's like I can't speak. But anyway, more nerdiness. The natural spring water in Glastonbury, Chalice Well, is reddish water due to iron oxide. It's considered magical waters with healing powers. So,
okay, is that where they did a bath?
Everything you're doing is,
That's where they had a healing bath, isn't it? Where they have like the fountain in the middle of town that you can go and get the water.
I think so, but Mo will tell us better.
I love how Mo, I love it when you nerd out on us like this. I do. So I'm just going to put that there, let it kind of stick off the side. That's more numbers too. Look at that.
Yeah.
It. All right. Well, then we have a whole number thing going on. So I have this.
Yeah, both Julie and Lexi say they like the number one.
What's that? Julie, number one, what?
Yeah, both Julie, Lexi, and Jutta say they like the one that you were proposing. I don't know what the one was.
One.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Do I have
thought
a one?
It was a 7, but yeah.
This right here?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the seven
So
had these bars, so that could be why it looked like a one.
yeah, yeah. One number, sorry, one
Oh,
number,
okay.
7. So keeping it just to that number 7. So displaying number 7, but not the other numbers. Thanks, folks. Didn't understand
Okay.
that.
So
Yeah.
I'll figure out something else that goes right there, and it needs to be maybe it's a wicked black flower. I do have that. Like something not too feminine. So what I'm doing here is because that's folded over right there, I'm just gonna use the fold, and I'm gonna let that hang off like a banner, kind of like where the bird is too. Need to put a little right here.
So I've never been to Glastonbury, but
Really?
I would love to go. And yeah, I might
If I
make
could
it
leave my cat, I'd be right over.
this year, or yeah, maybe this year. Not when the festival's on, because I think that would be too busy for my
What
liking.
festival?
But oh,
So we
you've
don't
not
want
heard of
that.
You've not heard of Glastonbury?
Well, no, I know about. I've heard of Glastonbury, but I don't know what the festival is about.
Oh my God, it's just one of the biggest music festivals.
Oh, okay, okay.
So this year,
So no.
the top line oldie act, I have to say, because they bring
Shiny
back an oldie every year. So no disrespect to anyone, but I think the top line oldie act this year is going to be Rod Stewart.
Really? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
ladies and gentlemen, let's go. So I do need something right there. I'm just not seeing what it is. Um, I I need it. I need this to be independent, and this is a cluster, right?
Yep.
So I'm creating. I'm not really happy with that. I'm creating this unusual cluster here. I'm just not finding. Where this goes. Maybe it goes under
So Mo has said
there.
the fountain is at the bottom of the high street. The wells are at the top. You can get in the water, but it's not even knee deep. She said she sent you photos of an event,
Oh,
Glastonbury.
cool.
Yes, the thing she is thinking of is exactly the place, but you cannot get in the water there.
I do have my favorite number here. It's another number though. Let's see. I'm thinking like a black rose, or because I have those right here in a sticker form. Um, Give me a minute. I'm looking for the right box here. I don't want anything too shiny, but I'm thinking like, oh, it's gonna be in here. I just saw them too. No, that's not it. Not it. Just saw one. What if I just put some newsprint behind her head, or that stamp? A lung. I've got all these weird stickers in here. I think there's some of those. Maybe that. I can't find the black roses right now. I thought they were right there. Well, I have one in here. I do have this also. I mean, how often do you get this mix of stuff on your desk? What the heck? It's a lot of weird stuff going on here. It's pretty fun though. It's confusing but fun. So I do have this, and this is on like a vellum. I like how that kind of pushes that back. Maybe that doesn't even need to go underneath. Well, no, it does. Somehow. What do we feel about the flower? Do we like the flower? I kind of like the flower. Kylie?
Yeah, I like it. I'm just waiting to see what everybody else says.
It's I mean, it's
No.
kind of an orangey color. It looks more pink and
Yep.
feminine on there, but it's not.
Yep.
I'm thinking it fills that space nicely.
I think it does.
It's like made for it
And
almost.
it's quite subtle, so I think it's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So because this is vellum, what I have to do here, and I had a craft lunch, I don't know why. Totally forgot about this stuff too. Because this looks like an Abbey right here.
Yes, like she says, yeah, flowers, always flowers.
Always flowers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't use them as often, really. Oh, I have this sitting here on my desk too. Like I could spray and put somewhere here. But I need to find the tape for that. Okay, let's see, tape runner. Because glue does not work on it. I had the hardest time figuring out what the heck to do with vellum, how to like glue it down or.
Yeah, Lexi says she likes it because it doesn't completely cover the stripes, and I think that's a good thing.
Right.
It kind of knocks
Pushes
the
them
stripes
back.
a little bit into the background, but not completely. So you still see them. You still get that strong sense of the vertical going through it, but yeah, it knocks it back a bit.
So we're going for weird here, and I think we're achieving our look. And I don't have anything 3D on there yet. And I need to remember that I still have those items, you know, like the little dots or any sort of jewel that I might have. I think that's too shiny now. I think that's out.
I think what's interesting is that your image from Glastonbury takes on a different kind of shape and dimension.
Yes, yes.
It's just
I might even go in with my
it's
pencil.
just so interesting the way it
so this
sits
is going to go right here. She needs something behind her head now because we're not using that other thing. So let's figure that out. Am I using this? Is it too fat? Where'd it go? Where's my little, oh, there it is. I just don't know. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. Okay. This, she needs glued down better here. I'm using a fabric glue now because I feel like I need a stronger glue. And, you know, it's hot glue-esque, really. Same with this. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that here. Put that cap on quick. And kind of stick that on there. And now I'm going to need a clip to make sure that that dries all the way. It needs to go down here. There we go. The other thing about clothespins is they don't stick. I can use them and it doesn't matter if I get glue on them. She's going to get some glossy accents, so that little bit of glue on her doesn't matter. I'm going to have to go around the bird, though. Okay. Now, one thing I was thinking here that I haven't had out for a while, and I know you let out a woo, is, and I thought I had a couple pieces out here, but I don't know where they're at. One of my machine cut pieces of mica tile here, like one of these guys.
Oh yeah, I love these. I keep meaning to order these because I just think they're amazing.
There's some really cool ones here, like this one. Look at that. And these are a bag that I got on Etsy. They're scraps from something else that was, and they're machine cut, and I don't know what they're used for, honestly, but I love them. that shape is super interesting. But I'm kind of thinking I want to put something over her eyes. So it might
Ooh,
be
yeah.
something like that, because this actually mimics the shape of the building here. If you see it, can you see that? It's cut like this. And I think it might be kind of fun to put over her eyes there. Let me see what else I have. I've got big pieces in here, but in the bottom of this box, I've got little shapes. And it's funny because sometimes, and you can split this until it's so thin, but sometimes it's like this color. Do you see that? It's like, it's a very metallic color, and that's natural. If I found this, say I went for a walk and I found this, I would be like, really? That's not natural. That can't be. Here's one that I had stamped on that won't show. I would be so excited if I found a big hunk of this, because it comes in big hunks, and they're generally odd shapes. Like, here, let me get out a natural shape here. I love these ones that's a natural shape. See the lines on there? I love it. But it comes in so many different colors, just naturally. There's that shape again, and this is another slice from that same stone. I don't know what it looks like in the raw, honestly. I mean, it looks like this, but it's layered, and look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Oh, so this one has a hole in it. Okay. Anyway, that's fun stuff. So I'm thinking I'm going to use this piece here. Put this one back. I had some round ones on my desk. I just don't know what I did with them. Where's the lid? What did I do with the lid? Oh, I have a pile of stuff around me right now. There's the lid. That's kind of nuts. Kind of like the nutty thing going on my desk here. That's a piece of mica tile too, but it's been stamped on. All right, so she's probably going to get like this, but I'll have to do it after I cover her with a gloss. So what I'll do is give her like this shape here and let the hole that's in there hang off, and I'll put something in the hole.
So Sharon, what will you attach that with?
This piece when it's done?
No. The mica
this.
to her. What will
You can use any clear glue, really, and
okay.
I've generally just reached for. I mean, I could use glossy accents for it. I could probably gloss her out and then add this, and it'll dry with it. That would be good. It's such interesting stuff, really.
Yeah, Julie, it's mica, MICA, and there's an old video on, sorry, not old, older video on Sharon's channel where she uses mica and she shows how you can split it down into very, very thin
very
layers.
thin.
And it's a great video. It's worth watching.
Oh,
if Sharon
thanks.
can't attach it, I will try and attach it in comments later on.
Oh,
but
thank you.
And I
so
keep
nice.
meaning to order it. So, I just want to say,
Go
if
to
you're
Etsy.
watching this, whether you're watching this on live or on replay, Sharon brings such imaginative things. She's using a whole load of different things. She's bringing this piece together bit by bit. And, the process for me is amazing to watch. I love to watch this. And this for me is what art and creating is all about. And it's using different things, a lot of them reclaimed, and just wonderful. I love it. It's so inspiring. So
thank you. You're so sweet. That's really sweet.
no,
Thank you.
I mean every word of it. I just love it.
You always flatter me. I really I like saying what if, or, you know, is that weird? Or you guys know, everybody that's here knows that about, you know, how I approach it. Is it weird enough? You know, is it? She's probably going to get one of these down here too. And I did that there because this is here. So we'll probably do like one of these here, and these can hang off of the cover as well. And we already know that I'm gonna put this up a little higher. So it's gonna go kind of right there. Maybe even, nope, I don't want to cover her hand, and I don't want to cover that. So that goes there. I'm just gonna put it down. I like when I'm in the ugly stage, it is difficult. But after I get to the point where I'm giggling at my desk because I'm like, this is so cool, you know, that's where I'm really happy with and glad I did the project, you know. But it's getting to that point that is so hard sometimes. where you say, this is so cool, and it's weird, and you know, and it's such a weird mix of things. I've got clips on my desk, don't I? Oh.
Thank you, Mo. Mo's put in that video. She's put a link into
Thanks,
it.
Mo.
Wearable art with mica tiles, and I just loved it. I mean, I've probably watched it 10 times, to be honest.
Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you. You know,
But
I never go back and look at my stats on my videos.
Yeah, I'm the same. I never look at them, but
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna go ahead and use the gloss or the Duragloss or the glossy accents, I'm sorry, and glue that on, because I know that I'm gonna go over this whole thing anyway. I'm using this to glue the mica tile on, but then I will use the Duragloss, which looks like this, because it's a little bit thinner and it's easier to get out. Just a tiny bit thinner. I always have to poke this. I don't know why I don't just keep a pin in this, but I don't. Hopefully that hole is big enough there. No, the hole is big enough. Yeah, it is. So I'm just gonna, I'm lining that up. There's a little extra piece that flaked off there. I'm lining it up with her head piece here with that line. And see, you can't see it, the glue. When I start stuttering, I know that it's time. And I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting there. I know I'm going long this time, guys. I hope you're hanging with me. So I want to put a clip on there, and I need to finish this before and give this a moment. Now, the glossy accents might glue your clothespin, so at risk.
Yeah, but I mean, just for anybody else watching, you know, using those clothes pegs, what a great idea. Basic wooden clothes pegs that probably cost nothing.
Well,
Not very
you
much.
get like 100 of them for $1 or $2.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, pick them up for your projects and use them to hold things in place.
I'm going to get out metallic. She's got a gold bracelet on here. And I want to find a nice fine line gold pin here. I've got these paint markers. Let's see. It's got to be a fine line though. I don't want a Posca. One of those. One of my little ones here. If I've got one down here, they might be downstairs. I'm not positive about it. I'm not seeing it. Yeah, it must be downstairs. Maybe this. Gold, if this one works. So I'm just kind of bringing it out a little, making it a little shinier if I can get this pin to work before I add the Duragloss. Although be careful with the Duragloss, because some things it will spread. It will like reactivate some things. And like I tried to mix it with walnut crystals. And Julie, you were there for that. That was when I was with Happy Paper People, and I mixed it with I think it was, or it was just like right at the changeover. I mixed it with walnut crystals and a little bit of water because I was trying to get the Duragloss to be that color of the walnut crystals, and it immediately turned solid and was like crackly. And I've got some things that I had spread it on, but it didn't want to stay on the paper. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful, but not what we expected at all. It like chemically changed in an instant. It was pretty cool. We did science. We did science.
Yeah, so Julie remembers being there with you.
Yeah,
So
it was science, just a bit of science. Okay, so we know I need to give this a minute to dry, and we know that sticks off of there. I'm going to clear out a few of these little things here. I'm going to keep the little fabric bits. And I'm going to keep this one because this one is probably going to go at the bottom, but I'm going to have to look at it on the book. But these, I don't need these right now, and they're just distracting me, so they can go up there. Probably not. I didn't end up using the chain. Okay, I'm just going to stuff this stuff over here because I don't need it. We know we are going to use
remembers the walnut crystals.
Yeah, with the Duragloss. It was such a weird thing that happened. I mean, it was instant. So with that, let's see. I'm going to use, I think, let's put these somewhere. I've got all these little bits of weird things, Okay, so maybe some of these little gold dots or stars. I've got these little sequin stars, and they're kind of six-pointed. I've got the moons that I've been using a lot of, and I've got the golden butterflies. Oh, no, she's got a bird in her hand. I can't do that. Nope, no pearls. Pearls are too fancy for her now. She's grungy. So I don't want these colors.
Those colors just look so amazing.
The colors?
Yeah, just amazing.
I love the bits of orange. And you know what just happened? And I do this all the time and I don't realize it's happening. I'll go back and look at something that I've made and I'm like, oh, I see why I made that choice there. Oh, I have orange, orange, orange. Oh, I see why I made that. And it's so weird. We don't realize we're doing it in the instant that it's happening, but we can go back and view it and see the choices we made.
It's
pretty amazing.
It's stunning.
Yeah, we do have a trio of orange because there's the bits of orange in the flower there, her hat, and then this. And then this is almost orange, but not quite.
Yeah. It's just slightly stronger in color, but it gives it an oomph, for want of a better
it really
phrase.
does. So I'm trying to see, what do I want? If I had some jewels on this, if I had something hanging off the bottom, like with some eyes, I'm kind of thinking that would be cool because this is weird. Let's get weird, right? I'm thinking if I put a
Hi, Sherry.
Oh, hey, Sherry. We're going long today. I'm glad you made it. Who would have thought that this awesome Vogue model would have inspired this? I wonder.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah. I wonder if she's still alive and what she would think of it if she saw it. I think
she would love it if she was here. Yeah.
So I'm going to put some eyes in here like this, but I need to figure out if I'm going to add. I mean, this might. One of these could be on the bottom, underneath. I don't have to make that choice yet because this isn't glued down yet. So I'm not going to make that choice yet, but I like that. I like the grunginess of that. This is just weird. She's so weird. I love her. She's weird. I'm going to put my ring on. And we're going to decide here It just needs something here before I put the, oh, there we go. There we go. I should have done it before I put this down, but oh, well, it's not too late. It's never too late. It's never too late. Look at that. Okay. Little something at the bottom. Need this. Some of this gloppy. It does glue pretty, it dries pretty fast. That's the good thing about this glue. This isn't actually Fabri-Tac. It's made by Beacon, but it's the foam and poster board. And I found it at the Dollar Tree before they went to the $1.25 and started selling all the other extra stuff. So they were $1 a bottle. And I bought like 12 of them because it's the same brand. It's the same stuff. It's just packaged a little bit differently. And it's like a cold hot glue almost. It's that texture that dries fast. Okay, let's trim this.
So Julie says she's now got her raisin toast and tea. So you can go on for as long as you want to go on.
We'll go until we, I mean, the whole point of these extra things that we're doing, and Kylie, I understand if you get tired and can't stay, but
no,
the whole point is to, get out of the system that is happening around us, to get out of it. And that's what makes, this kind of thing that we're doing so fun and so important, because we need to think about something else for a while. And I'm finding that I'm doing everything I can to think about something else most of the day now. I'm a few minutes on the news, a few minutes on TikTok, and then I'm like, oh, triggered, done, can't do it anymore. And I walk away. And I've finished a couple series that I had started a couple years ago. I need to organize some things in my house, but I haven't done that yet. I've just been finding other things to do. Been cooking, things like that.
Yep. I'm going to get a packet of crisps.
Are you?
Yeah. That's what you might call potato chips, because I feel the need for a snack.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'll be right
back. And you guys have fish and chips, which are fries for us.
Well, yeah. I mean, I
Isn't
ordered a
funny?
takeaway tonight, and
we might end up with some of this.
We got a takeaway from the Chippy tonight, which is
did you? I've been making things like that, fish and chips, because I'll see it in one of my British shows, and I'm like, wow, we haven't had fish and chips in ages.
Yeah,
this sounds good.
Right. I'm going to get some.
Okay, go get some. Go get chips. Your thing.
Yeah.
So, do I want some of this on this side to hang off? His black velvet, and it's antique black velvet. It's not lace, but it's another texture. And it could hang off. Yep, I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it. It's just sitting here on my desk. I'm just going to do it. This is going to be last, obviously. This. All right. Yeah, so this glue, I bought a whole bunch of them. And then when I went back, I saw that they still had them, or they had restocked them, and I bought a whole bunch again. So I've got a bunch in a container with extra glue. Okay, so I'm just hanging it off the side. It's not even straight. It's the paper that's not straight. It's not. it's confusing me. All right.
Okay, I'm back. I have got Seabrook's sea salt and vinegar crisps.
I think we have Seabrook's over here, but they make the chocolate covered ACI berries and blueberries. And
Mm.
isn't that, what brand? Isn't that Seabrooks, you guys? Anybody here in the US know what I'm talking about? I'm going to use a little glossy accents here because this doesn't want to stick down. I think these are iron-on, honestly. The back of them have a plastic sort of, I think they probably could iron on.
Oh, Mo wants a crisp piece now, as we would call it,
There
or a
we go.
crisp sandwich.
Yeah, share. You got to share.
Mm. So
I
crisps on bread.
have some croissants downstairs that are stale, and when you put them in the oven, they get all kind of flaky on top, and I love that. And I think what I'm going to do for dinner is find something to put on those. I've stopped eating pork, you guys know, and I got some turkey spam. I haven't tried it yet, and maybe I'll put some spam on that. Because I only have a couple slices of regular turkey. So I'm thinking spam and cheese. So I put a little black velvet hanging off the edge there. Could have put it on her, I guess, but I didn't, and that's okay. All right. So are we glued down enough here? Almost need a hot glue for this so I can get it flat, flat, flat. All right, I'm going for it. I'm going to do two different kinds of glue here, though, guys. I'm going to use a, well, maybe not, because I have this down here, too. Let's get these edges, and I'll think about it. Just for the chipboard, you know. I have some other weird broken jewelry bits and stuff over here, too, that I could reach for. So, I want one. Hand it over. She almost does need hot glue to because I need a different kind of glue for the paper in the middle. And then a different kind again for the outer edges because we've got fabric. And sometimes that is the most difficult part when you're mixing all this stuff together, figuring out what kind of glue to use. I remember everybody asking all the time at first, what kind of glue do you use for that? I don't know what kind I'm supposed to use, or what kind of glue is this for, or, you know. And when I say your glue should be as heavy as whatever you're working with, so that means a lighter glue like the glue stick. It's like getting old. The glue stick goes with like thin stuff because it's a thin layer that you put on. And this heavier glue, this is a heavy piece right here. And I know that I want it to be pretty solid and stick down good. So that's why I'm using this heavy glue. But I could use, you can break out the hot glue gun. I mean, we try not to, but you can still use it. It's okay. As an artist, I know it's kind of hard to decide to use that glue gun. Because that's my mom's glue, you know, that's what it is. That's for when I'm making a wreath, right? Am I right? But, you know, when you have a mix of stuff like this, that is the hard part, is figuring out what kind of glue. And got to get that in there. And then we'll pump up this 7 and finish it up. I got to get some clips on that. And the other gooey glue, the clear stuff at the top. Let's get some clips on there first, though. Finally got her glued down. And I'm going to have to really press her head. Where are my clips? There. In a pile in front of me. Okay. Oh, whoops. I've got to... Okay. I'm not doing the top and the bottom yet because it's getting this kind. And maybe I'll go ahead and use this Takes a little longer to dry, but it's a little more solid. When you're doing, oh, darn it, you have to poke it every time too. When you're doing like a fabric or jewelry, this is a good option. I used to see people using it. I was like, that's not a, is that a glue? I thought it was just to make things shiny, but it is a glue, you know, it works like a glue. Come on, I'm not tearing it off. There we go. Okay, clip. I have some old clips and they're a lot shorter. Sometimes it's too short and it doesn't work. Glue oozing out here. And I'm going to go over the whole thing with glossy accents when I'm completely done with it, avoiding my, you know, a few little places here, but I'll go over all the paper, this, to give it a nice clear coat. You can also use plastic from packaging, like the thin clear plastic. If you want to cover things first, that works. That always works. Or tape, clear tape. Before you cut out your pieces, like if I put her down on a piece of chipboard, I could have covered her also over the top with, you know, laminate or some sort of clear wide tape to protect her. But then you have the risk of making everything too shiny. Tape can be really shiny.
Hi, Steph.
Hello, Steph. Welcome. Hi, Goldie. Welcome. We have some new people here today. Oh, Goldie is Steph. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yep.
How do you go from Steph to Goldie? Out of curiosity. Okay, I'm going to get my book here and see how far around the edges. This is a clear, it's a clear sticky note, and it says, and I wrote this down a long time ago, and I ended up putting it on a card on one of the postcards that I made. She was a childless cat lady on the verge of, I can't read the rest, on the verge of extinction. A catless child lady on the verge of extinction. So I like these hanging off. I'm not mad at that. And I could even do some on this side and have them wrap around when I do the spine. But I would have to decide and just leave that hanging off until the spine gets done and then wrap it. So I'm going to do that. I like that.
Okay, well, you think about that. Goldie, aka Goldie.look, aka Steph, says she's not new, she's just always late to the lives.
Oh,
Goldie and Lucius, or Lucas, I'm not sure how it would be pronounced, are her dogs. And she actually gets a huge kick out of being called Goldie. So, Goldie, Steph, you're welcome.
You can be Goldie then. Yes, yeah, I think that's Goldie. Wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you for coming. I thank you everyone for being here. It always means so much to me. And if only 10 of you came, it would mean so much to me, because if I got to inspire 10 people, that just thrills me. So I hope I still have this ring on. I hope that anybody that watches feels inspired, because that is my point. I don't want these to be even. I want this to be kind of sitting off, and this can be this way. It needs a clip now or it won't stay. I've got a round thing over here that's got it's like on a Lazy Susan. I made it. It's a great big round chipboard. It's a heavy chipboard kind of hat box. And I put a Lazy Susan thing on the bottom of it, and I've got cups in it, but then I have the clothespins clipped all around the sides. So I just have to spin it to find more. Okay, so I think I like 3 here with these. I'm not mad at that. I keep saying that, don't I? And then we've got some room here to add some of that if we want. Some of our fringy, grungy, but I'm not, this might go on a different piece. I'm not feeling it on here anymore. How about you? Are you feeling the same way about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know,
Unfortunately.
that's okay because
Yeah.
sometimes you start off on one project
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of move on to another and you think you're going to use that one and that one and it doesn't work, and that's okay.
And yeah, that happens a lot,
Because you'll come
actually.
back to using that stuff another time, and that's okay.
So I've got a piece of this down here, and I think I'm going to put this one behind right here.
Yeah, I like that little bit.
And it's
Just
kind of
popping
frayed
up.
right here.
Yep.
Yeah. So what I'll do is take this clip off, put a strip there, and glue it. Glue it down. I'm going to use this one.
So just so you know, you're 10 minutes to the 3 hours.
Okay. We will end it very
I,
soon
I
because
think,
I think we're almost done here.
yeah, I think
Honestly.
folks are hanging in there though. So
Yeah. Well,
you're
this is
fine.
weird enough to keep our attention, I guess.
Yep.
She is a little weird. Especially with this. I mean, that just gives her a superpower, does it not? Does that not
Yep.
give her a superpower?
Yep.
And I like that it's got that shape.
Jagged. Yeah.
It's mimicked all over the project, and that
Yep.
was an accident. Same with the flower here. Yeah. Okay, so now I need to decide, does it have anything else under it, or I'm thinking it just has book. I like the book, and there's kind of a frame here, and it's about that size, but I don't know if I'm happy with this corner, so I think I might round it. What do you think? Even if I cut out a chunk,
Yep.
because we have kind of
Yep.
a thing going on here with this, don't we?
So just to say for anyone watching, sometimes just because of time, Sharon does not always get a project finished, but make sure you subscribe to her channel and watch
Oh,
out for uploads to her. It used to be called community. Sometimes it's now
the
called
community
post.
page.
And if she's not finished a video, then she will put an image on her posts or her
Always.
community
Yeah.
page. So, you know, if it doesn't get finished here, look out for the post. And but of course, subscribe, and then when she does post,
Yeah, then
you
you'll
will
see
see
it.
it then.
Right.
So, you know,
It used
please,
to be
please,
hard.
please, please do that. Yeah.
It used to be really hard to find those community posts, though.
Yeah.
They were, I mean, they just did not pop up. They didn't pop up easily. You had to go looking for them. I need something
I
right
mean,
here.
YouTube's mucking about with this, mucking about.
Yeah, they are.
That's a Scottish term.
They've been
They're
changing
changing
stuff.
this kind of stuff all the time. So just if you
Oh,
subscribe, it should pop up in your feeds.
yeah, that's the key, is to subscribe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I need something here, and I've got this piece of, do I want to waste that? Because this is totally sewn on the edges, hand sewn, beautiful
Yeah.
little thing.
I like that.
And it's rusted, or I've got I need something right here, and it needs to have sort of a finished edge, kind of on this side, little bit. But I'm thinking,
Yep.
I don't know. If it was a little wider, I could fill that gap right there. Hold on, just a sec. I probably have a piece that's wider. Let me find out. I've got my bag of rusty fabric here. Let's pull this one out. See here? And I want one with the right kind of edge, or, I mean, maybe it doesn't need the right kind of edge. Maybe it can have this. so it sticks out on this corner right here, but I don't want to back the whole thing because what a waste. Ooh. Look at the interesting thing happening right here. Do you see this? Okay. I'm going to do something really crazy, and I'm going to take the piece I want from this. There we go. And God, all these weird things on my desk. It just cracks me up when I look at my desk in the middle of a project. I do it all the time and I notice all the weirdness happening. I still need to get that. Where'd it go? Where did I throw it? Did I put it away? Am I looking at it? Oh, there it is. I was losing my mind. Okay, so I like this right there. And I think I can go like that. Still not really solving the problem right here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to glue that down. And then I'll do any trimming I need to do. That is so interesting right there. Okay. So with this one, I'm going to put the glue on the back of this, and then I can place it on top the way I need it. Oh, I love that. And I'll cut this off the bottom too. It will be remedied. And then because I've added this bit of rusty fabric, I can use the rusty fabric for the tie. And when you do your covers separate like this, let me get this on here. If you do your covers separate, you put your tie underneath and then put this over the top. It works out really well that way. That's going to need a bit of glue right in there. Let's see if I still have to poke this. Yep, every time. Happens every time. I haven't even put any gold on my finger yet. So what will happen is I won't be able to finish this completely. Like the little last finishing touches that I want to do, I won't be able to get to on camera because I've got these clips in my way. And I will add the finishing touches. Like it could be some of these little flat back gold things. Could be, I'm thinking some... No.
Oh, no, no, no.
I just pulled a thread. That's not what it was supposed to do. All right.
You saved it.
I did. Or we just get more glue out. But I think it needs some more weirdness. I think these might be a bit too shiny and I need to find something old. And it could get a little embossing powder too. I could highlight some things on it or just go around this edge right here with a little embossing powder, or her bracelet. I have a pen for that, the embossing pen, and you just, put it where you need it. But I would need all the glue to be dry on here before I sprinkle anything on it and melt it, because it would stick to anything that's wet at this stage. And don't forget it's going to get this, and this will get this. Yeah. What is that from? Something is broken. Okay. And then the last thing on here that I'm going to do today live is decide where that goes exactly. Because that didn't really matter, did it? Unless I do. There we go. So if it goes like this, and I let it stick up just a little bit off there.
Yep.
I like this line right here is nice.
Yep.
I like
It
that.
gives a balance. Yep.
Yeah, it really does.
That's perfect.
It's weird how it's so bizarre yet balanced, right? It needs something else heavy, probably right in here, and it could be some little stitches with some
Yep.
embroidery thread or
Ooh,
something
yeah.
like that.
Yep. Yep.
Just some little stripes. And that will get glued down when the cover gets glued down, probably, because it's such a heavy piece. I know I keep saying we're going to do this part. Okay.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of King's Gold here.
I think the 7 definitely needs to be in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it definitely will be.
Yeah.
It just can't be. So I'm going to tap some of that off, and I'm going to kind of pick up some of that texture there. And I've got this here. So I had mixed together. I put on some brown paint mixed with sand. And then I put on some red paint mixed with sand. And it's kind of a wax on, wax off thing. When you get to the yellow part, your rusty things don't have as much of the yellow, generally. I mean, they're in different stages, but yellow is kind of more of a highlight. And what I do is I put it on, and then I go back in with the brown or the red and do it again, tap over it. I didn't do the sides. How weird. They're just black, just black plastic. That's okay. It does look rusty, doesn't it? It looks absolutely corroded. The texture does. Okay. And then there's another thing you can do, and that is with a little bit of iron. You can use iron filings. You can use, I usually grab a little tiny bit of the Moose Black Ash because it has that iron feel. Don't worry, I'm going back in with some brown. But I'm going to use this just a little on my finger because that's what we do. And give it some little shiny spots where the iron still might be present. When you rust a piece of fabric and it leaves behind that, when it's really thick, I don't know if you guys have done that, but it's really satisfying to see it like that. But when the rust is really thick that gets left behind, there's a metallic shine to it. And I don't have a piece handy, like a favorite piece handy. I would have to dig through that bag, but we're getting somewhere there. So it needs just a little bit of that iron put back in. And when I do an assemblage project, which this cover is technically an assemblage project, after we start adding all this weird stuff, I will fuss about with things like the details like this, and that's where it becomes, the project is like more rich and layered, and the more layers you add, the more interesting it is. This paint is almost gone. I mean, it's almost dried up. It's at the stage where I can squeeze it and get a plug of paint that's barely paint. So just tapping it. I'm getting rid of a lot of the yellow. That brown is too light. I think I should just watch me. I'm going to throw this away. I'm throwing it away. You have to go back at the end and catch the
No,
recipe.
there's still a dab in there. There's still a dab in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's so,
I'm kidding you. I'm kidding you.
look at that.
Don't
I mean,
let
it looks
me
like,
don't let
what
me
does this
hold
look
you
like
back.
to you?
I
No,
know.
no.
Go for it.
I
Throw it.
I
Throw it.
usually
Throw it.
like my thick paint, and if it was a different color, I would probably keep it. I could also try some of the graphite that I made here because it has that iron sort of look to it. I do need to get some brown paint out though, and I could drop some of that on there. Kind of drip it around, and then if I don't like it, I just go back in and start over. But that kind of did something fun there, didn't it?
Yep. Yep.
It has a shine to it. And this is the graphite powder that is made for locks. So you get it at the hardware store. It comes in a really fine powder, and that powder is used to lubricate like doorknobs and stuff, like locks, and which is weird because it's not a liquid. I need brown now. Brown, brown, brown. Do I have brown up here? I just don't want to. This one is also a good one to use because it actually is that's the nickel logo. Iron oxide. I mean, just play with your colors, see what you like best, because you're going to find different textures of paint work differently. It wasn't coming out. No, 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 no,
That was a
no.
glob.
It's too expensive to do that. I'm hoarding this, but I'm hoarding it. Okay.
Yep.
It's okay. But this is more transparent, so it gives it another different look. I'm trying to use it all on my fingers. I told you I was going to get messy today. That was not the plan right there. But, keep adding until you figure out what you like, because it doesn't just have to be the yellow, the red, the rusty red color, and the brown paint. You could go in and try other colors too. And that bit of iron at the end really makes a big difference in my projects.
Yeah, Rhonda thinks maybe a slight smidge of turquoise.
I could do that.
Yeah,
It would have to be a really dulled down version of it.
Kinda,
like
as she says, a smidge, just a tiny bit.
I have this, and it's been in this bottle for like 3 years. So, I mean, it's just a really watery paint, and I need to unclog that, but I did it so I could use it like a writer. And I put it on my desk so I would make sure to use it.
She says you don't have to do it. It's just a suggestion, but
no, I'll try it.
Right.
If you guys are watching and you want to see it, we can try it. This might be too transparent. Technically, where you have rust, unless this was painted turquoise first, but where you have rust, technically from iron, you're not going to get the turquoise. That's usually on copper or brass, or here's another one here. Let's just do it this way. This one is very dark, but there's, I mean, you never know what kind of things were sitting next to it, because they can bleach onto each other. So if this was sitting next to something copper in the barn, it may get some of that bleached onto it. So I'm just going to put it in like 3 little places here.
Yeah, I think Rhonda's absolutely right. That just gives it a little bit of a kind
interest.
For want of a pop, for want of a better word. It
looks so much different on camera than it is. Let me see if I can turn this light down to see if you can get a better, or just turn it off. It looks more calico on camera than it is. It's not calico like that. It's a, I'll get a picture of it and see if I can get it to show right. I don't have any brown sitting on my desk. Okay, I'm going to go back in with it just a tiny bit more iron, because, iron. Ooh, ooh, and yeah, that shimmer on there. Oof. Oh, that's so good. Um, you know, the cake, the better than sex cake, or the like, this is that good. This is playing with this number 7 and the rust and the finger paint, and this that good. It is. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. I really do need to get some good pictures of it though, because it is not showing how pretty it is, like on camera. It does not look the same. It's very, oh, it needs another color breaking it up though. I'm not sure what. I'm going to have to continue to fiddle with it. Oh, no. It's very clear. So this goes on last, so I can fiddle with this until the cows come home. It doesn't matter. What I would like to do is take this off and see how we're going here, so you guys can see it. I will take a picture of the cards that I drew at the beginning, the oracle cards. They're not tarot cards, they're oracle cards, in case anybody's afraid. It's okay. Just some positivity for our day and our week. If you are interested, I don't have Facebook anymore. I only have Facebook Messenger. If you are interested, let me know that you want to be added to the thread. We have a little chat thread, and we sometimes go through phases where we talk a little bit more on there, and then we haven't been on there for a while. But if you are interested in that and you are coming regularly to the live streams, I would be glad to add you, and you can be part of the photo sharing conversation in a thread. That way, it's not a group page, it's just a chat thread. And it's for all things art, whatever. So there we have it. She's gonna get a little something right here. I've got some eyes coming in that I'm gonna put like right there and right there, and it's gonna get a chain hanging from the bottom, or maybe an eye there, and the chain will go this way. I don't know yet. We'll see. I don't know yet. But I love her. I love how weird she is. And here's another thing that happened, guys. Long and skinny, long and skinny, long and skinny. That was a design choice that happened accidentally again. Like, my eye felt like it needed something long and skinny, apparently, when I chose that. So, I mean, that just happens. I love it. I love it. It's weird and I love it. The chain is left over from Tim in the basement earlier. I think, oh yeah, from the Tim Holtz people I have downstairs. Yeah. You don't know how Bill will feel about that? He'll be fine. He'll be okay. I didn't even use this. I had it on. Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And Kylie, thank you for hanging out with us today and
delighted to be
helping
here
with this weird madness in my hand here. I'm going to turn this back on. I will take some photos. She does need some fiddling, and I'm going to stay up here in this room and try to get her done today so I can do that. She's going to get some jewels. I really do think maybe the chain goes from here to here to here. Yeah. I'm going to figure that out. So there we have it. Weird, wonderful, I think.
Not sure when we're back again, but that's up to Sharon. But delighted to be here, and
yes.
The more that can join us. I'm just here to read the chat and whatnot, but enjoying Sharon's creativity. So yeah, let's just kind of be here for her, and thanks to everyone that comes along.
Yes, thank you, everybody that came in and enjoyed this weird moment with us. And I hope that you go and have a peaceful week. We will be live next Saturday. It
Ooh.
is the third Saturday of the month because, and it's happening earlier yeah, anyway. And then these Fridays are kind of a special thing. Right now we need the extra from friends, like
Yep. Yep.
encouragement. So we will see if we'll throw another Friday in. And if we do, it'll probably be at 11. So it's an hour earlier for everybody, for all of our international friends. So thank you all for being here. And don't forget the thumbs up and go over to Kylie's channel and see what she's doing. She's got some amazing stuff she's working on right now. So I really recommend that. And Mo, you are the bomb. Thank you for all the nerdy facts that you give us, and they mean so much.
Mo,
Thank
I'm coming to Glastonbury if you're down that way. So yeah, I'm going to be there.
Yeah, let's all meet there and we'll go
Yeah.
swimming. Thank you, everyone. Love you all. Bye.
Namaste. Bye.